Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another CAF update. And I'm back in Florida, happily back in Florida, as a matter of fact. It's warm, it's wonderful. I'm happy to be here. I hope everybody had a great New Year's. We did, and we're back. We're back. It's good to be here. So we got a busy show tonight. I've got Mr. Layton on. I've got Alex Winter from Hakes will be here. Tom Kraft from the Kirby Museum. And I've got some commission announcements for OAX to dish out from Mr. John Beatty and the Essential Sequential crew. I'll be doing those on my own without the artists here, but that's okay. I've got all the information for that. And then Chris Stork will be joining me, of course, for the end of the show when we talk about all our favorite art. So, and we've got to talk about the best ofs as well. Obviously, the submission period started for that, so I'll go over that. So anybody who's forgotten how to do the best ofs and get their artwork submitted into that can get enjoy the party. We've got 2 new categories this year too, so that should be interesting to see what those the results from those new categories would be. But we're going to get started off with Mr. Layton tonight. He's still in Seoul. He's a few weeks away from coming back to sunny Florida, so it's still cold there, and looks a lot like Canada, if you ask me. But let's take a look at what he was up to this past week. I think he got to celebrate the New Year's in style.
Well, I had to come out. It's almost the end of 2023. I'm still on the road in Korea, but I had to come outdoors to show you this because it's pretty cool. Check it out. It is a winter wonderland here. It's gentle. It's not too terribly cold. You can see it's very interesting. I kind of dig it. Just this change of pace. Not that I'd want to deal with this for the rest of my life, that's for sure. So we're having, I'm talking to myself here, we're having a New Year celebration at the Dyson Comics Cafe. It's about an hour before New Year, you can see up there, or whatever. And we just have a bunch of friends. We're rando idiots and half-high crazed people, whatever.
Hey Joey, how's things back there? I'm doing a video. I'm doing a video for the guys on the podcast. Yeah, you gonna have a happy New Year?
Yeah, well, so far it's been fun. We've had people in and out of here all night, so I thought I would add this to the video thing since it's my first New Year's away from the United States. So it'll be a lot. Yeah, really. It's like she's like, oh really? Yes, hi. She's visiting from South Africa.
She's
Moved. Okay, well, moved from South Africa. So there. So anyway, yeah, this is, the gamers are gaming and all that sort of stuff. So that's New Year's here so far. A happy New Year to all of you out there.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Started. Oh, hi. We're at another drink and draw. I have a special guest tonight. I'm with Mina Baker. And it's like Mina not only is a great artist, but she's also a baker, just like her name implies. So I met her at the Seoul Comics Week, and she's here tonight at Drink and Draw. And she already got started, right? Because you have to go home early, right? So our theme is still dragons because last week, because of the weather, we had a very small turnout. So this week we're going to continue with the theme, right? So you already started. So you want to show us what you did, Nina? That's great, right? How about that, guys? So there's a preview. It's very colorful too, Nina. Well done. She didn't bring me any cake though. I'm kind of sad about that, but she did give me a lovely keychain. Anyway, Nina, so let's tell them on with the show. Tell them on with the show.
on with the show.
Okay. Perfect. So Jedi Master Sheehan. So you were sick last week, right? Oh, stop. That's not yours. I did that. So you feeling better now? Feeling better? Yeah, we were very worried about you, my friend. So there you go. Welcome back.
Where'd he go? There he is. Bob and Joey. There we are.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Hey, Happy New Year. It's nice to have you here in 2024, Bob and Joey.
Yeah.
Nice
Bob,
to see you.
you guys are dressed really warm.
Well, it's not that bad today, but temperature's going to continue to drop over the weekend, and it's going to be a balmy 15 by Monday, which is really sucks because I have to go do an interview with the Korea Herald newspaper at their offices on Monday, and it's going to be 15 degrees. So the one day I have to go out, it's going to be below freezing, but it comes and it goes. Like I said, right now it's about 43 degrees or something like that. It's not too bad, but for us Floridians with no antifreeze, it always feels cold.
I know when it gets about like 65 outside, I feel like I have to work.
Yeah. Well, the same in LA. I mean, you see people wearing sweaters when it's 60 degrees out in LA, and they're just total wimps. But hey, what can I tell you?
They finally get a chance to wear that sweater.
Yeah, finally get a chance to wear the sweater that Grandma gave them.
Well,
so
very nice.
How's your trip to the family? Everything?
Oh
good?
yeah, it's good. My mom informed me she's actually going to come down here for a visit in February. But while I was up there,
coming for OAX.
No, well, she knows I wouldn't have a whole lot of time to hang out with her and talk. So she said she'd rather come down. I wish she would. I told her it's like you'd actually get to see the how successful the stuff I've been dabbling in over the years has been. And she's like, I'll see the pictures. I'll watch you on on whatever you post afterwards. I don't need to be there for it. But we'll probably, when we do the reception, I told her we'll probably get her like on a phone call or something and get her so she can watch everybody enjoying themselves. So well,
I happen to know for a fact she can get in for free.
That is true. I would comp my mom a badge, that's for sure. Yeah. But she said she's going to come down in February. But we had a very good Christmas and a wonderful New Year, just hanging out, and it was enjoyable. It was about 9 days off for me, but I'm paying the price for it now, trying to dig out of 9 days of emails and things that I left on the back burner while I was traveling. But it's all good.
It's nice to see you back in the regular digs. So we're only 2 weeks away, man, from me heading to the States. I head out a week, 2 weeks from today.
Oh, that's the 18th, right? That's true. So we'll be skipping a week with you, like our first time.
No, I'm going to send you a footage of me on the road.
Okay.
I won't be live on Thursday because I'll be somewhere over the Pacific Ocean. But I will send you footage from me at the airport or whatever, and whatever happens. That's still 2 weeks away. This week, I'm going, like I said, I'm going to do an interview with the Korea Herald. Mm-hmm. So Monday we're going to their studios. It's like a video thing, right?
Yeah.
Joey's done it before. But
my thing is airing next Wednesday. They did an interview with me about the shop and about the things we do, and then they came to Drink and Draw, and then they came to my Dungeons and Dragons and Drag Queens event, and it ended up they met Bob at one of those events. You can guess which one.
I can.
Yeah. So
she
invited him to do an interview too.
She was getting all excited today because there's rumors about the Korean Huntress film. Since Paul Levitz and I co-created the Huntress or whatever, so she was like Tammy, who's their rep there, is like losing her mind. Oh, the other thing was that Joey, tell them about the sale, the auction. What happened with the Herald?
So we sold a lot of the art from Drink and Draw, and there was a fair chunk of it that I was actually supposed to hold on to for them to use it in an exhibit.
Oh no! And you sold it all.
I still have most of it, but I sold his drawing from that one and then some other ones.
So guess who had to spend an entire day recreating it?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I had to spend an entire day. Oh, they decided they wanted it large, like 11 by 17. So not only did I had to recreate it for them for the interview, but now they want me to color it on camera. And it's like but I spent an entire day because we sold the thing, you know. But not only that, you ready for this? I had to recreate Hamburger Hulk for him.
You did
remember Hamburger Hulk?
No, I don't remember Hamburger Hulk.
Joey's drawing of Hamburger
Hulk.
Oh,
Hamburger Hulk, of course. Yes. Joey's one, yeah.
Oh, the classic Hamburger Hulk. How could you forget?
They were actually more bummed that I sold Hamburger Hulk
than my stuff. Well,
so did you have to you redrew yours too, I hope?
No, I had to find a photo I had sent Kasra. Then I took it into Photoshop, you know, adjusted it, recolored it, you know, enhanced the color. I had to spend like hours fixing Hamburger Hulk.
Joey. Well,
he still rubs it in because he got as much money for that as I got for the Iron Man. So he still rubs it into me all the time.
I hope it wasn't exactly even, Bob. You've had to have made a few pennies more than Joey's Hamburger Hulk.
No, they sold for the same price.
Wow. Well, that's a humbling experience for you.
I know. That's why I'm coming back to America in shame. Joey has bested me
for the exhibit that they're doing with all the pieces. I think I might be able to get Hamburger on Hulk on loan from the collector that bought it. So.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so visually I had to go in, find this photograph, and then spend hours fixing it so it's presentable online, right? You know, so Hamburger Hulk could live again. You know.
Wow.
So yeah, doing this. I'm like, really, I got to do this again. You know. Bigger. I did. You know me.
Well, you're a team player, Bob. You know, we all know that.
I'm a mensch. Yeah. I do it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I do what I need to do. Plus, like I said, this is really good for my profile here in Korea to be able to do this interview with them and get the exposure here. So, and hopefully, you know, like I said, with the Huntress movie coming up here in Korea, that'll help my status here as well if that actually comes to pass.
I don't know if it'll be as big as Iron Man and your popularity there, but it should give you a spike. That's for sure.
I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do. You know, it's like I rarely have you seen another country do a version of a American, you know, hero. You know, so it's going to be. And the director is the guy who did The Villainous, who is a great action movie. I mean, incredible action movie. So they picked the right guy. You know, so if they're going to do a live action version of the Huntress in Korean, they got the right guy for it. Because The Villainous is a kick-ass movie, man.
Right. I mean, are you going to get invited to the set?
Well, that's why I haven't even met anybody. I'm trying to get a connection to the director and the people doing this stuff. They don't know. Nobody knows I'm here, other than the Dyson Comics Cafe clan. You know, it's like. And even that, it was so funny because we were there on New Year's, and there was a bunch of soldiers in from one of the bases, and Joey's selling them comics. He's back there, and he's showing them the latest books and stuff like that. And he says, "Yeah, we happen to have Bob Layton here." And you hear this guy go, "What?"
We keep him in the back room.
yeah. He's like, "What?" You know, it's, "Oh yeah, he's right there." You know. And so all the guys from the base came over to meet me and get books signed and stuff like that. And so. Yeah, I mean, the majority of people still don't know that I'm residing here at the moment.
Well,
plus I have to move. We're moving me to a regular apartment in a week or so before I come to OAX because I'm in an Airbnb now. So, but I'm going to need a little more permanent thing. So Joey and Cleo, bless their hearts, found me a new place in the building, so I don't have to move far.
It's 1 floor down.
1 floor. Is it 1 floor? You found out? So okay, I'm on 11.
Yeah, 11th.
That's great. That's great. So, yeah, all we got to do is just bring the hand truck over and move all the stuff downstairs next week before I leave. You know,
be careful with that printer.
Yeah, no shit. After everything we went through, that's the third printer we've gone through. You know, it's like finally got one that works. You know, it's like wow. You know, but that's why I finally Sean Clancy sent me a couple of recreations to work on over Keith Pollard, a couple of Thor covers we did together, and I had no way to recreate those logos for Sean. until that printer got here, because I have to do mechanical paste ups, by hand
Right.
for the black and white covers. So, yeah, Sean, you can rest easy. I got not only did the stuff finally come, but I got the printer to do the logos now, so you can relax your sphincter. We're fine, man.
That's awesome. So I think I've got a couple of pieces you've been working on the last week.
Yeah, again, I'm continuing to get commissions. I don't think these are OAX commissions. These are just requests I got from my website.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm big on that circuit board stuff these days.
Yeah, that looks great.
It makes a great background for a single figure drawing. These are not OAXers. I think these are just, and I did a couple for Spencer for his clients too.
And these are using the same markers you were using.
I'm using
those
cheap German markers that go down really nice. This was surprising. Yeah, Spencer had me do this. This was actually a pain in the butt, but it was kind of fun because I remember this comic as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was. There's actually so much little tiny detail that it took me a while. That's why I didn't get much done last week. Plus, we had New Year's and a bunch of other stuff. And I'm mentoring Simone, trying to help her along with her art or whatever, because she's really on the cusp of getting there. Yeah, and that's another one for Spencer. This was really interesting, by the way. I'm sitting there and I'm inking it, and I'm realizing that some parts of this are very Ditko. And I'm wondering if Ditko had done the original sketch. I asked Spencer to ask Virginia if Ditko had done the original cover sketch, because this was the issue he left. Right. Mm-hmm. And because I'm looking at the hands when I'm inking it, I inked a lot of Ditko, as you know, Valiant and Marvel. And I'm looking at the hands, and those are not Ramita hands, And the kind of bow-leggedness of of Peter Parker there, that it really, I'm sitting there and I go, this is so reminiscent of Ditko that I'm wondering if John did it from a Ditko sketch,
right?
Or was he just trying to basically emulate Ditko to some degree because he was taking over the book?
The transition, right? Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, you think about how far ahead they worked. So I am of a mind that this was originally a Ditko cover sketch that basically John did the finished art for. Spencer's going to try to find out, but there are, as an inker, there's always clues, like markers that certain artists do, and those are definitely not Ramita hands, So it was like, and the buildings are very Ditko as well.
Yeah, I was going to say the buildings definitely have a Ditko flair to them.
So it was a bit of a revelation. So he's going to try to find out from Virginia whether Steve Ditko did the actual cover layout or not. I mean, it's still obviously Ramita, and like you said, but I was wondering if he actually did the what's that?
CJ says,
okay, so you do know about that. Okay, CJ Design says, okay, but I'm not wrong. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, when you've inked as long as I have, you see markers from the artist. There's little telltale things.
Mm-hmm.
There was definitely some Ditko in there. Interestingly enough. So there you go.
And hey, you had Mr. Reinhold is in the.
Oh, Bill, how you doing, brother? Hey, listen, give Linda a big hug for me, okay? It's like it's been a long time since I've seen you guys. I think we're up in Michigan or something. The last time we saw each other, a long time ago. But give her a big hug for me. Send my love to her, and a happy New Year to both of you.
Yeah, happy New Year, Bill. It's been a while since I had Bill on for an interview. Well, maybe not that long. I think
I love him and Linda. They're wonderful, wonderful people.
Oh, he's like you. He's got a lot of good stories.
Oh yeah, mine are all filthy though.
All right, Bill's were not filthy.
Family man, I'm a wretch. You know that.
I've heard stories.
No, yeah, it's all true. Ask Casra. Casra knows everything.
Oh well, yeah. No, I haven't asked Casra for any
Casra blackmail me. Let's put it that way. All right.
The tell-all book that he could write. This is not the documentary you want filmed about your life, right?
No. Jason's making the documentary. He will be at he'll not drinking draw. He'll be at OAX. Jason's coming to do some filming for the documentary he's making about me. So he'll be there with me the whole time. I made sure Costa got him a badge or whatever like that. So, so yeah, husband-in-law will be there taking the video the whole time. So, it'll be fun. Not only that, but he will. Thanks, Bill. So yeah, he'll be there the whole time. So not only documenting me, but he'll be documenting OAX, the very first OAX.
Yeah, this is crazy. We're gonna have like 4 different people on the floor that are either recording video for us, shooting stills, and even doing some live streams. Some
Yeah,
real...
so you'll have to talk to Jason about getting some footage from him too when it's all over.
We will. Oh yeah, Ezra will not allow it. Yeah, he's going to make sure that he gets. Well, that's the thing, trying to promote a first-year show when you have no photographs, nothing exemplary about what your show's about. It's pretty hard. We're talking about putting a full-page ad in what it's like called Orlando Weekly. It's like the alt arts paper here in Orlando.
I have some partial nudes. You should have told me. I would have sent them.
Well, that's just it. But I'm looking at it, and we're going to probably do a full page ad. And I'm like, what the heck am I going to put on this ad? I have mugshots, right? But other than that, I've got no photographs of the floor, what it looks like. So next year is going to be easy. This year sucks.
So how'd you guys like my guest host today, Mina Baker? Wasn't she just absolutely adorable?
Yeah. Absolutely. I was wondering.
She showed up at and her dad Jason. They showed up at the Soul Comics Week, and she was gonna bake me a cake because she loves to bake, and her name's Baker, which is really funny. But she's just a little sweetheart. And I said, "Why don't you come be my guest co-host today?" She's like, "Okay."
Well, she did it. She did fine.
Yeah. It was great. Well, yeah. So anyway, do we have stuff? Again, we didn't have a big turnout because of the holidays here. Big Jaw has been a little slow. Plus, the expat estrogen army, they all are going back home. The semester's over, so we're losing a lot of the girls. But what was interesting last night is and the footage got messed up because ever since Madrid, when my phone exploded, I have some weird stuff that happens every so often when I'm making video. And it goes into slow-mo for no particular reason. And
that's exactly, one of the, I couldn't use the one because it was all
right. But
slow,
what was interesting last night is we had a guest show up just from the website from Mexico. He was here from Monterrey, Mexico. And the other newbie was from Spain. She's from the south of Spain. So the two of them were sitting there just talking Spanish all night. And I looked at the Korean guys. I go, now you know how I feel when you guys are all talking,
Well, they didn't know Spanish, of course, but they could have. You never know.
Yeah.
But, well, that's, I'm glad you had a good time. But so you're traveling in 2 weeks. So we'll have one more live show with you here. And then
next Thursday. Yeah.
Yep. And then I don't know if I'm doing a CAF update the week of OAX. Probably not. That Thursday night is when
I get a week off because I was going to do it from Joe and Jason's pool.
You might do something. Let's put it that way, because
I'll do a segment. Okay.
You might. Maybe I'll have you be the host that night because I have to. Thursday evening is when they're actually setting up the room. The pipe and drape people are coming in. I think they start at like 8 because there's something in there earlier. So I have a feeling Kazra and I are going to be, just seeing how everything kind of falls into place and if there's any last minute changes we want to do on Thursday evening. But I could probably stream from the floor to a certain degree. We'll see.
Well, why don't you ask? Look, we got a whole lot of viewers here. Why don't we just take a poll? Why don't we just find out what they want?
Oh, they want more. Well, there's a lot of people not coming. I mean, so they're going to want more content.
Yeah, I know. Everybody I know is coming, though. I mean, it's like the Skip Farrell's coming. Michael Lovitz is coming. I mean, all my friends are going to be there, You and Casra being there. I mean, all the friends that I have locally are going to be there. So I got no complaints. But Yeah, let's just ask the CAF guys if they
they're gonna
give us
want,
a
yeah.
offer and want us to broadcast from the floor.
Even if I do just an hour show, they probably would want me to give it a try. I mean, we'll get to test out the internet that way. So
All right,
yeah,
well, take a
do it.
poll, find out what they want. It's like because the public's never wrong.
No, they aren't. But well, Bob, I've got a guest in the green room, so I think we have
Who
to.
we got coming up?
I've got Alex Winter from Hakes. He's got a new auction that just got started, and we were going to preview a couple of the pieces in there. And then after him, I've got Tom Kraft from the Kirby Museum. They're the ones that usually set up at a lot of shows and scan collectors' Kirby artwork, so they can just archive it all. They scan it at like 600 DPI, and so they're going to be set up at OAX as well. And they're always doing a little fundraising because it costs a whole lot of money to store the terabytes of Kirby artwork that they've got archived right now. So and I've actually never had Tom on the show before. He's somebody I've known. Yeah.
Is his name really Tom?
Tom Kraft. Yes.
Okay, we got to make sure. Okay, because we make sure that it wasn't.
If he was in Seoul, I'd be questioning that. But
well, good luck with the show. We'll see you next week. Okay.
All right, sounds good, Bob. And Joey, always good to see you.
Yeah, it'll be Joey's last week on the show for a while. Yeah.
He'll have a month off.
You get a month off. All right. Well, like I said, now that we found the apartment, I know where it is. We're going to be moving this weekend anyway, so we may be shooting from another place by next week. Who knows?
Have a safe move, and again, take care of that printer.
All right, guys.
A month and a half to get another one.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. See ya.
All right.
All right. Always fun to talk with Bob and Joey. Like he said, he's got 2 more weeks, and then he's gonna be back here in the States. So I don't know when he gets in, but hopefully maybe we'll get to hook up and have drinks before or after OAX before he goes back to Seoul. But of course, he doesn't drink, so he'll be drinking tea or coffee while I have whatever I choose to have. But so we got a lot more to go here tonight. So I've got Alex Winter in the green room, and he's not in his familiar spot where we're looking at weird things hanging on the wall. At least, well, maybe there will be weird things hanging on the wall. Oh my God, this is like where you're at right now. Looks like this record shop / head shop that I used to go to when I was in my teens back in Northeast Ohio. This is crazy, man. This is the record collection you've told me all about.
I mean, normally I'm at work in the office when we have our long 2-hour diatribes. I like to have my 2 monitors and my props behind me and everything. But for this, I said, I promise you we keep it brief. I'm doing this first time from home. Hopefully everyone can see and hear me. And primarily this is being shot in my record room. Yes. So that's some of the vinyl there. There are records other spots, but this is the primary music room and listing room. Yeah.
Wow. This is it's impressive. Are there records in front of you as well? Or is that
in front of me are my signed records? Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Well, that's a serious collection. That's amazing.
It's about 7,000 records, and then I have 7,000 CDs, but that's at another location. Yeah. In the house, another location in the house, but yeah.
You don't have like a storage facility somewhere where you have another 20,000?
Nope. I have. That's one collection I have that I can access any piece of music at any time. No, that's the number one rule of my music collection. If I can't pull it out and play it, it's not here.
And CJ wanted to know, where's the turntable at? Or turntables? Right in front of you.
The computer is on top of it.
Very nice. Wow, man. I mean, do you like blast music there and the neighbors complain, or do you keep it kind of low key?
No, I keep it very calm. 2, 3, maybe I push it to 4. My days are going to 11 are long gone. Yeah.
Well, you never know. The older you get, with the hearing and everything, sometimes you have to like crank it up a little bit, but maybe you don't have that problem yet. I used to always play a lot of video games, and I had, I think I've messed up my hearing. So I sometimes record stuff and it's far too loud. And I think one of these days I'll be having a hearing aid or something. But
Mhm.
but pretty impressive. So, but you have a we have an auction going on, and I haven't even put those. I got to get those banner ads posted after the show today. You sent me those the other day, and I got to get those up on Slabbed. But
Okay. Oh yeah.
yep. You have, but you have a new auction going on. It's not, it's not one of the usual big, the bigger auctions, but it does have original art in it. And I know we picked a few pieces out to feature. When did it get started, and what days does it end?
So it started on Monday. It ends the 15th through the 17th. Yeah, this is, we do our 3 premier auctions a year, and those are the ones that we put out the catalog and
Mhm.
all of that. And then in between those, we have been having 3 online exclusive auctions. Um, Actually, more items than in the catalogs. Those premier auctions, about 2,000 items. The online auctions have been close to 3,000. This is almost 2,800 items. And the primary focus of these are collector friendly, affordable. Anybody can bid and win items
Mhm.
versus the higher dollar stuff that goes in the catalog to pay for the catalog, because that's a pretty big expense. So this will have a lot of stuff selling in the under $100 range, 1 to 200, 2 to 300. It's got about 150 pieces of art, and then there are 1,000 plus CGC graded comic books. There are 300 graded sports cards, primarily baseball. There's about 700 action figures and toys, including some graded stuff there, about 400 Star Wars pieces, 600 political items. So it's sort of a representation of what we do in the premier catalog, same kind of categories and scope. Just again, price point is everything starts at $9.99, and one of those auctions where everybody can jump in and win an item.
And the auction format's the same as when you have the premier
Mhm.
auctions,
Yep.
where
Yeah, everything's the same. Yeah, and look, I love, I just got some catalogs in the mail this week with amazing killer art that's 5 figures and 6 figures and potentially 7 figures, and that's also, let's be realistic, a limited audience, right? I mean, to
Mhm.
many of us, a 4-figure item is a lot of money. So it's nice to have these auctions where anybody can bid and win a piece of art for their collection. And it doesn't have to be, the Kirby cover and the Frazetta painting. And there's lots of nice stuff in this auction that suits everyone's needs.
Exactly. Well, why don't we look at a few of the pieces that you picked for us today? So let's see. Let me get my screen shared up here. So what do we have? Piece of Detective Comics art by Brayfogle. Let's get that up here.
Yeah, so of the 150 pieces of art, there's about 70 published pages, and at least half of that are from Batman titles, more modern era. There's some Batman Detective, Shadow of the Bat, Batman Adventures, Gotham Knights, Birds of Prey. So a nice selection of titles and artists. We have this Norm piece. There's Scott McDaniel. There's Terry Beatty, Christopher Jones, Bo Hampton. So again, a cross section of artists and titles. And I picked this one in particular because this is the Rat Catcher. And if
Mhm.
everyone remembers our last auction and show, we had a Jerry Bingham cover 585. That was the first appearance of the Rat Catcher. And then totally separate from that, this piece came to us, which was the next issue. So I just thought it was kind of, it shows how you never know what's going to show up. We have a cover for Rat Catcher, which many, even rabid Batman fans, aren't even aware of that character. And then the next auction here, we have a page from the same storyline.
Yeah, that cover ended up on CAF too, like it should have.
Good.
But so 70 plus auctions. Jason, he always has to ask, is there any X-Men art in this auction?
I don't know if there's any X-Men original art, but there are, and we'll talk about that. There are 3 lots of X-Men color guides.
Aha. Oh, that's right. That one of the pieces we're going to show tonight.
Yeah, there is a little bit of Marvel art. There's some Fantastic Four, Doctor Strange page, but I don't think there's anything with any X-Men in the published pages. No.
Let's see. Second item, Brave and the Bold title splash, Carlo Barberi. Let's take a look at that. This is, yeah, very nice. Which page is it? Splash page from issue 8.
And there's a lot of Batman art from this era. So it is more modern, but pages with major villains and other characters and Batgirl and Robin, and so it's a nice mix. And again, I'll throw out, I keep saying this, but it's true. Very collector friendly and affordable artwork with nice content.
So what are the like the dollar thresholds when they're bidding below 100? How, I mean, what's the increments?
We have a flat 10% no matter what. We don't do dollar amounts. We've always been 10% over a 10% increment over the next bid.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, there was somebody lamenting on Facebook today that like every time there's a lot they want on an auction house, it's like the item before them is so low that people nickel and dime it forever because they can put in low bid amounts. So the PC's waiting on bidding for it could take 5 minutes because the piece ahead of it is so low that it's time. But you don't even have that issue because your stuff kind of all has like it's more staggered ending. It's not like one after another after another. So it makes it you really can just focus in on the lots you want and not worry about waiting.
Yeah, the closing days we start our clock at 9 p.m. Eastern. We go 20 minutes. Once those 20 minutes pass without any bid, those items close. If an item does receive a bid, it reopens for another 20 minutes. So it's not like in succession. There's no hard and fast closing that you could try and snipe at the end. It allows everybody to have a chance to bid and rebid.
That makes sense. Number one Marvel fan was curious about the next catalogs that go out because your next premiere auction is probably what, like March or
next it'll be online the end of February and the middle of March. We will have items in that auction at our OAX display. Yeah, and I just saw Jason made a comment that he had problems with signing up and bidding, and I'm sorry that happened. And reach out to Higgs at Higgs.com. I can have Heather walk you through the process. We can figure out what the issue was, but we certainly don't want to lose you as a bidder. We'll do what we can to make this an easy bidding experience for you should you choose to do that again.
Yeah, I mean, I've bid on a few things over there. Haven't won anything yet, but I didn't have any issues when I did it. But you never know. There's always problems can happen. I mean, it's the internet. So
hey, look, this room, right? I'm not a child of technology. I'm playing records, so things can happen. I understand that, but we certainly want to try and correct that.
There you go. Let's see what else was out there. Let's Dabble Bow Blackens. Well, I don't know if you had any Grummet art. Grummet worked on.
No, not in this, and nothing lined up for March. I will say we did get some great DC cover art in this week, which we'll preview on an upcoming show for the March auction. And we did finally get in-house. I had alluded to a historic movie poster, original art from an 80s horror franchise that is now in our hands, and we will actually be promoting and debuting that at OAX.
Oh, wow.
We won't have the actual art because it is 27 by 41. It's one sheet size, but we'll have promotional material there for everyone to see what we think is a very special piece.
That's fantastic. Can't wait. I think we've got a lot of interesting things debuting at the show. But yeah, keep me posted. Any PR we can push out there about what you're going to have at your booth. We want to help promote, give people a reason to drop by.
And thank our number one Marvel fan. Appreciate your positive feedback. Thank you.
40 lots over the years. Yeah, awesome. Let's see here. Black Viper. It was I can't remember the name of the forum or the group. It's probably just that standard original comic art group. It was the one I saw it on. It was in my Facebook feed, so most likely. But so here was the one color guide set you said you had. This is from 102.
Yeah, so this is more from that Andy Yankees collection, the colorist. We have two covers, 97 and 98 X-Men, and then X-Men 102, the full issue, which is this cover and all the pages. All of these were for the Marvel Masterworks, not the original issues, but still one-of-a-kind hand-colored pages.
Yeah, very nice.
And Sean isn't here to, jump up and down about these. So, but everyone knows Sean loves his color guide. So
indeed. And Sean's not going to be at OAX, I heard. Is that true?
It seems that way. Yeah. Todd, Kelly, and myself are the committed ones. Sean actually had something come up in his life that personal that I think is going to derail his trip there. be there in spirit for sure, and back with us on the next CF show.
All right. Well, hey, it's always fun to see Sean, and everybody would have, and I think enjoyed seeing him at OAX in person. But there's always next year. Let's see here. So Margaret wanted to know, do you know how much shipping is to Canada for any Hakes winnings? She's hoping it's not $100 like it is.
I'd love to say it's not, but it's one thing that we get constant comments and complaints about is the cost of shipping. It's not us. The supplies are rising. Every carrier has raised their rates. During the end of the year, there were surcharges and fuel charges and Christmas charges. And I mean, it's crazy how much things cost, but the reality is that's what it costs. And Canada can be tricky and can be expensive. So I don't think it would be $100 if you bought one piece of art. But it is, again, not the fault of the auction company that we're in the position that we are. It's just not cheap. I know myself, again, as a record collector, there are times where I want to get an import record and it's way more for the shipping than even the record. So it's just the way of the world, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, I've been shipping a lot of art here since I've been doing the art sales, and it's always surprising. I mean, Canada, I've gotten some decent rates if it's undersized, but if it's over 11 by 17, you're always paying like almost double what you'd pay in the US. Yeah. So it's even to Canada. So it is.
And also, the other big issue is insurance, right? And we don't send anything that isn't fully insured because anything can happen. So I know a lot of people want us to knock that off or claim it's used goods or whatever. We don't do any of that. You're taking too much of a risk. So a lot of times the bulk of the shipping charge can be the insurance.
Right. Yeah, very true. And I'm sure, Margaret, if you wanted, you could probably call into Hakes and talk to somebody there about it, and they could give you some estimates on what the shipping would be before you purchase something. I mean, I totally get it. Yeah, I mean, shipping has to be a factor in buying something these days because it's not cheap. So what do we got? A Neil Adams piece as well.
Yeah, so we have a little grouping of sketches as well. This is one of the nicer pieces. We have some cartoonist sketches, a Davis Garfield. There's some Dennis and Menace Ketchum. There's some Disney artist sketches. Again, all very affordable things and a nice array of characters and subject matter.
Very nice. Yeah, it is a nice Adams, like Rick Welch just said. Let's see. And a non-comic art item in the end here.
So I just wanted to show the comics because there are so many. There's over 1,000 CGC graded books, Golden Age to Modern, lots of keys. This is one of the better pieces and will be one of the more expensive books in auction. We have a handful that will be 1,000 plus, but a great deal of the comics that we have are going to be in the $75 to $200 range. So lots of good titles to fill in your runs, lots of first appearances, just a really nice broad section.
Very nice. And so the auction started on Monday. And what were the dates again? For
Monday through Wednesday, 15th through the 17th. The first day is the political, historical, sports memorabilia. Second day are comics and art. And then the third day is everything else, all the toys, action figures, celebrity autographs, miscellaneous things.
Okay. Awesome. Well, obviously I'll do some PR for you like I always do as auction's closing, and if there's anything else I can do in the meantime, let me know, and then I'm ready for OAX. It's going to be fun.
We've had meetings this week, in fact even today, to finalize sort of the case we're going to have and what we're going to bring. And so and I'll get with you off air. There's a couple questions I have about what we're doing, but everything is on my end. All the paperwork, Castro, everything is going smoothly, and we're set up and ready to go.
Well, I'm we're ready for it too. I can tell you, it's every day is a different challenge one way or another, but hopefully I've gotten all the curveballs that you can possibly get from running a show all out of the way in this first year, and then be like, I can put a blindfold on and put it on, but
I don't know if it's ever going to be that. We've helped put on shows, and we once did there's a political convention that happens every other year that is the political equivalent of San Diego, so it's a big deal. It's a lot of moving pieces. that's a lot of work. So anybody that doesn't understand what goes into a show, kudos to you for attempting it, and then, you know, I'm sure pulling it off beautifully. It's a great deal of work, and I know there's a lot of excitement about this. So Hakes is ready for it. I will say that.
Awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, it's going to be great to be able to, get to hang out in person for a while over the weekend. It's going to be very enjoyable. So looking forward to having you guys there. But yeah, so everything, looks good. Like you say, affordable art in this auction. And we'll be PRing pieces here and there throughout, in the daily emails for you. I think we've got the list for that.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who get the daily CAF email, there's a section in it where we promote different auction sets, and we've got 3 pieces from Hakes in each of the mailings going out until the auction's over.
Yeah, cool. Appreciate it as always.
All right, Alex. Well, you have a wonderful night, and put on some music.
I may pick something out here and do that. Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, man.
Thanks, man.
All right. Always good talking to Alex. So yeah, we'll see him in 3 short weeks. Gosh, it's coming fast. But OAX is it's our full-time thing for right now. It's like we get over one hurdle and think we've got it to, or I think I'm like in a coasting spot, and I'm not coasting at all. But a lot of stuff got accomplished today. That was a good positive. But I had a last-minute invite that I threw out to my old friend Tom Kraft. I've actually never had him on here. I've tried to get him on for interviews in the past, and our schedules have never worked out. So tonight we get to have Tom Kraft on the panel for the first time.
Hello.
You got the right
Logo.
shirt on. You got your Kirby shirt on.
Yeah, I had to do it. Always trying to promote.
Well, that's very wise of you. I should probably be wearing more Comic Art Fan shirts and merchandise while I'm doing this. But it's good to have you on, man. I think I've probably asked you a couple times over the last few years, and I know your schedule's always kind of crazy, and you have a lot of things going on with the museum and in your in your personal life too. And trying to make time for one of these is always difficult. But hopefully, we'll be able to do more of these in the future. But I wanted to have you on because, you're set up at OAX, and you've been working with the Kirby, you've been doing all the scanning for the Kirby Museum forever, and I thought this would be a good opportunity for you to not only just kind of introduce yourself, but tell everybody what the Kirby Museum's goals are, and what you'll be doing when you're at OAX.
Yeah, so the Kirby Museum has been around since 2005, and around 2006 I came up with the idea, before I was involved with the museum directly, of starting a digital archive to preserve Jack Kirby's legacy. He has so much art out there, and the Kirby Museum really needed to have Brett, how's it going? The Kirby Museum really needed to have an archive of resources, because at that time in 2005, a lot of the art was complete and available to scan. So we started archiving, and then in 2010, I actually became part of the Jack Kirby Museum as the treasurer, and then eventually, right now, I'm the president of the museum.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been going on now for 19 years. Is that right? Since 2005, 6.
Hard to imagine, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So we've been scanning. We do it. We go to most of the conventions. We're looking forward to OAX, and we archive right on the floor. The San Diego Comic-Con, at New York Comic-Con, any Comic-Con. And also we have a lot of connections with artists and collectors. The art dealers have been wonderful for us. Berkey, Anthony, Bashar at Nostalgic Investments. Bashar lets us set up the scanner at his booth. He's also on the board of what are they called? Board, not directors, but recommendations, I guess.
Well, that's good. I mean, so the thing that you would throw out to anybody, any collector or exhibitor going to CAF, is if they have some Kirby art in their collection that they don't believe has been archived yet by the Kirby Museum, you'd more than welcome them bringing a piece or two with them so that you can scan it. And I know you scan them at really, really high res, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we scan at museum quality. So
Mhm.
generally it's 1200 DPI. And then we scan the front and back because museum standard is to do that.
Mhm.
Um, and what and also we go, of course, we go to collectors' homes as well. We literally go to people's houses and sit on their sit in their kitchen on their kitchen table, lug the scanner in, and start scanning away. And we have a professional um, Epson scanner. I have one on my desk, Epson 1200 XL, which is the best you can get for traveling around. It's really super high quality.
Fantastic. I mean, so is that the one you ship, or is there a traveling scanner that goes to the
Wow.
cons?
We actually name our scanners. We call them Scanny, and we have Scanny on the West Coast that sits there all the time for whenever we go out there. And then we both have the director is Ran Hoppy, and
Mhm.
he's in Hoboken, New Jersey. I'm in Boston, outside of Boston, Massachusetts. So we each have our own scanners, and we pack it up in a case, and usually we travel with it on the airplane. And already, I've been talking to a couple of people, so I'm really hoping that we could scan more art. It really helps us with our mission at the museum to really promote Jack Kirby and his legacy, and, and his influence on all of our culture
Oh yeah.
throughout the world. So this is just another way of doing that, and we support a lot of different things with the art that we scan. So it's really good to have for exhibitions, also for publications, a lot of and also for artist editions. We've contributed a lot of scans for those as well.
I was going to ask
That
you
are
about that. I assume Dunever's hit you up a few times.
right. Yep. Yeah. And then also I'm working with him on a new book on the Eternals. It's called Pencils and Inks. I originally did a book, Pencils and Inks, several years ago that for DC and IDW that had first issues of OMAC, Demon, and Commandy, where you could literally open up the book and see on the right and left, you could compare the pencils to the inks, because
Mhm.
we have 7,500 scans of pencil photocopies on loan from the family that we have. And then we've scanned over 8,000 pages of original art and probably about 200 pages of comic strips and commissions and paintings, collages, everything you can think of, and documents. And the Kirby family has been really supportive. They've allowed us to scan a lot of their personal photographs of Jack. So our archive is just growing. It's now probably well over 10 terabytes.
Wow. Did do you so I assume you probably have like scans of the artwork that Comic Link's been auctioning off, the kind of non-traditional, it's kind of like
Yeah.
I forget what that's from. I mean, I know I've heard the backstory once, but so that's the kind of stuff that you also have scans of too, not just the published work that we're all familiar with, but some of the more obscure as
Yeah,
well.
Ruby Spears, all those
That's right.
strange comic things that keep coming out. No, because those things are huge, by the way. They're
They are.
giant.
Yeah.
So eventually, I think we're going to get the original scans that went to Comic Link, because I contacted the person who supplied those images to Comic Link. But other auction houses have been really well. Comic Link also collaborates with us and scans some of their Kirby art for us for the archive to our specifications,
Hmm.
and also travel down to Heritage, to Texas, literally to when there's a really good auction, like they sell a complete book of Thor, or recently it was a complete book of Thor. There's been Forever People complete issues, and it makes it worthwhile for us to travel down there and scan. And so they've been pretty much all the auction houses have been very supportive.
How do you
Metropolis too. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you fund all this? Because is it all off your own dime to make these trips and get
It's
around?
it's a combination. It's mostly my dime. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So we're
it's a
all
labor of
volunteers
love.
at the yes. I do get some support, and we're also trying to bring all this onto a digital archive website. and we're also building a catalog raisonné and art and museum land. That really means a listing of everything Jack Kirby did.
Mhm.
So it's a catalog of everything. So together with that and the archive, we're hoping to get a collections website built, and we actually are fundraising for that right now. So if anybody's interested, they could just text on their phone. Kirby, let me spell it out. KIRBYMUS, and then you dial 44321, text that, and then you get to the page. But so we've been trying to fundraise for this, and it's a huge database, crazy, Bill, all about databases
I
and
do.
building sites and how expensive they can be and hiring people and all that. So we're trying to fundraise for that.
Well, let's. I mean, is there like a press release or something you can give me that I could, send out for you?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, please. Yeah. I mean, you sent me your OAX announcement, so yeah, send me that too. I mean, I'd be
that'd
happy
be great.
to share that with everybody, and maybe there's a QR code. You can just let them just hold their phone up to
We actually do have a QR code. So.
Trust me, those are easier for me too.
Yeah, we do our live streams on the same system you're using, and
Mhm.
we show up a QR
I
code,
should have
makes it
asked you
easy.
for this in advance. We could have done that.
Oh, that's
But
true.
hey,
We'll
but yeah, you can definitely send me whatever you can, and I'll push it out in our news, and we get a mailing out there too in advance of OAX to let people know. Because yeah, it's a big effort. I know how it is. It doesn't. The equipment costs a lot. The time
Yeah,
to develop it costs a lot. And while you could say drive space is relatively affordable these days, not like it was 20 years ago. It's still pretty
right.
costly to host terabytes and terabytes of data, and then have to deliver terabytes of data to the people who want to download it and look at it. So yeah, I know all about it. I got a burstable invoice for my December, so I
Oh,
know how those.
geez.
Yeah, I don't like. I only get like one of those every year, so you can always tell when you have a busy month. Is when I go over my overage allotment, which almost never happens, but live
Well,
and learn.
we also have to keep it like I have drives here with the whole archive on it, and then there's another drive in Hoboken, and then we have a cloud drive. So like two cloud drives. So whenever these scans are incredibly important, and to lose them to data loss would be horrible. So after all
Oh
that,
yeah. No, I
and
I
then
know about that too. Everything you have to have multiple backups of everything.
true. So I'll have this big, huge scanner at Nostalgic Investments booth on the side of it, and I'm also already have a commitment to go out and scan it at a collector's house, so that's great.
Oh wow, great.
And anyone who has the art, it's very simple, doesn't take really too long, although we do scan at super high resolution. We would love to add it to the archive, and it's very important to do this because obviously with all the stuff going on in the world and deterioration of art over time and natural disasters and fires, and you never know how long art's going to be around, so this is a permanent record.
Well, it's an important thing that you're doing for probably the most important comics creator, in our lifetime. So, I support it, and anything that we can do to help promote it for you is definitely a worthy cause for us, and I'm sure most of the people in the audience feels the same way. So we appreciate all the
Yeah,
work that you put into this time.
totally grateful, and grateful to everybody who's contributed over the years and all the comic art dealers and collectors.
Well, so when do you get? I guess here's a good question. When do you get into Florida? Are you coming in early, or are you going to be getting there on
I'm going
Friday?
to be the Thursday early in the morning, and
Okay,
so
cool.
I'm going to be scanning probably Thursday and Friday before the show.
Hmm.
So then I leave on Monday.
Okay. Well, then I'll probably. Are you going to be at the hotel on Thursday?
Yes, yeah, I'll be at the hotel. Yeah,
All right.
I'm looking forward to being warm. It's going to get really cold, and we might have snow up here in Boston. So
Well,
something you forgot about, right?
yeah. Well, like I was telling Bob Layton earlier, is when it gets to like 65 here, I feel like I need to put a jacket on. If I was back in Ohio, I'd still be wearing my shorts. But here it starts. It's funny. It is bizarre, but no, it is nice, and that's why we wanted to do the show, and at this time of year too. Just not only is it Cap's anniversary, February 1st, but doing it in Orlando at this time of year, it just kind of makes sense, and it's outside of the main convention season. We wanted to just
take the kids to Disney too if you need to.
Yeah, exactly. That was the idea. Or leave the kids at home, bring your Sprouse, and hang out with them and do your own thing. That's yeah. We'll see. But we actually have sold a lot of couples tickets, so that was kind of interesting.
That's interesting.
We put that out as an option, so that people are making a vacation of it, which is neat. And the hotel, gave us dates from, I think, like Thursday to Wednesday or Wednesday to Wednesday. I don't know, but so we have a lot of people that are staying 5 and 6 days that are coming out, so they're definitely staying around. The beaches are only an hour either way to the Gulf or whatnot, and so it's a good location. So we'll see. It'll be fun. We're gonna learn a lot, and I think people are gonna have a lot of fun there. We've sold over 350 tickets so far, so there are a lot of collectors are going to be there, and I'd like to think.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
All right. Well, Tom, again, get me that press release, and then anything I can ever do to help you out, you just let me know.
Thank you.
And let's do that interview. Let's plan on
which
doing
one?
Well, the one just with you, your time as an art collector and and a fan in the hobby, and it ties into the Kirby Museum too.
Yeah, I've been collecting since the mid '90s. So
exactly, longer than I have. So maybe early spring. We'll
sure
get you on. Would that'd be pretty cool? And I've never even talked with Rand before. I met him, but it'd be cool to do an interview with him one day too.
Well, maybe it's a combination of, it'd be cool to have one with Rand and I. And we can,
that would be great. That would actually be a lot of fun to do it that way. Okay. Well, we're going to plan. We'll figure this out, and we'll do it before the summer.
Sounds great.
All right, Tom. Well, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you at OAX in 3 short weeks.
Likewise. Thank you, Bill, for the opportunity.
My pleasure. See you.
Bye-bye.
All right. So nice to have Tom on. I've watched his broadcast with Rand. I think actually because they were doing it right around the same time. They've been doing it longer than we've been doing it here. So that's true. I've seen some of his streams even before the pandemic. So they've been out there promoting the good works of Jack Kirby for a very, very, very long time. So getting on with things here. What should I do? I actually have some packages to open. I'll do that right now. And then I can well, you know what, how about before we do the packages, I have some OAX announcements we can talk about. I have a few pre-con things that you're going to be emailing info@oax-expo.com. The email address. I've said it often enough, but obviously I can't remember it. But I've got John Beatty, who is decided to offer up a limited number of pieces that are pretty cool. And even in the example that I'm going to show you, it's actually available. Because he was like, I need to do an example that because it's not something that he normally does. And as everybody knows, kind of the tenet that we've tried to enforce or request from a lot of the artists that are doing anything pre-con or doing things at the show is to try to do something a little bit unique. And we've had unique opportunities with Sean Gordon Murphy and Adam Hughes, but we've had other artists that are doing different size stuff than they normally would do. Or and in this case, John is well, here, I'll just go ahead and just show the slide, make it real easy. If I can get this here. Here we go. So John is going to do 5 9x12 single character busts on watercolor paper. These will be done in ink wash, a little bit of pencil, and those kind of white marker pens as well for highlights. And so he did this example as basically what he's going to be stylistically how they're going to be done. They're $500 each. This one's available at $500. So if anybody's interested in picking up the cap, you're more than welcome to just taking that one and not doing a pre-con piece at all. But if you're familiar with John, I've seen John at many shows. He doesn't sketch all the time at shows. A lot of artists, that don't. A lot of artists are tired of looking down the whole show, so they don't sketch a lot. I've seen a lot of John Beatty convention sketches too. If you go on CAF, you can search on them. But I don't think you're really going to ever see too many John Beatty ink washed, convention commission style pieces. So this is something that is definitely unique, and I think priced pretty well there, $500 for these at 9x12. And you just shoot us an email, let us know the character that you'd like him to work on. He's only going to take 5. He told me that he'd be happy to take a wait list if he goes over that, but he really doesn't feel like that 5 is a good place to start. Let's put it that way, because we have 3 weeks, as everybody knows, and these definitely take time. But it was pretty awesome to see this, because I was like, shoot, man, this is fantastic, because I know it is his work that he has time to do at shows usually is, and so this is nice. So this is like a done at home piece that you're not going to get anywhere else. Alberto says claim. Well, Alberto, you just got to shoot me an email. I trust you. Yeah, if you want to claim it, it's it certainly can be yours if you emailed me first. But yeah, really good stuff. And again, John, he's got a long career in comics, as everybody knows. I actually asked him to be on, but he has some tech issues, so he couldn't be on with me tonight. But you're going to get to see John at OAX. He's a very pleasant guy to talk with, and he's got a lot of great stories. He'd be somebody I'd love to have on sometime, to do an interview with, because he's worked with a lot of amazing artists, especially his time with working with Mike Zeck. So keep that in mind. This is something that definitely won't happen probably too often again in the future, to get a piece of this type, style, and from a guy who's got an incredible tenure in the hobby. So Jason, there's not many people you can say are Dan Green. Dan was an exceptional, I'm making up words here, an exceptional artist, as we all know. And so there you go, John Beatty. And hit me up, info@oaexpo.com, if you want to get a pre-con. These need to be picked up at the show. And as everybody who picked up any of the Kuberts know, I did not invoice yet for those. I'm going to get those out this weekend. So we'll be invoicing for these before the show as well, because he will get these 5 done. So and if anybody picks up the cap, I'll obviously be sending out an invoice for that this weekend too. So there you have it. Very, very nicely done. And I'll get those on the website tomorrow, though it's probably going to be pretty late tomorrow. I've got a very busy schedule. If they sell out before that, I'll just be putting a little sold out notice on the site. But we love his work, and I think it's see, Robert Myers has mentioned he's seen him at cons before, and he's super nice to talk with. He definitely is. Always happy to chat with the fans, that's for sure. And so I also have a few other I've got the Essential Sequential options that are out there too. I didn't get what didn't I get from them? I didn't get precise example images to go with these, so I went over to CAF and picked up ones that I felt were exemplary of the levels that they were doing. So right now, these you'll be emailing me as well, and emailing the info address, it goes to Kazra, and we'll take care of getting these over to Jason. But all 5 of the artists that we announced for Essential Sequential are taking commissions, pre-con stuff. Clay Mann, who is the 6th Essential Sequential artist, is not taking anything pre-con. I haven't had a chance to talk with him, so I don't really know what he'll be doing at the show. But Clay will be there. I did get him posted to the site a week or so ago. We didn't really do a formal announcement about it. But yeah, he will be at OX. He will not be at MegaCon, and none of these guys will. So you can only see him at OAX. So let's see here. So what do we got? Brian Stelfreeze. He has 2 different sizes that he'll be doing as pre-show options. These are he's either doing a 9x12 black and white bust like this one, and it's $500, or he is doing a 9x12 color piece. And this is an exceptional one. I think I saw this was in Mr. DeTulio's collection. He loves the painted pieces. So I think I popped over there just to see, because I remembered that he had Stelfreeze in there. So you figure it's going to be, and these are 1,000, 9x12 single character bust at 1,000, or $500 for the black and white by Mr. Stelfreeze. So hit us up at info@oa-expo.com if you're interested in any of those. Then Dave Johnson. He actually had 3 different options here, and I was just like, I'm just going to put one in here, because if everybody's pretty familiar with Dave's style, I would think there's a lot of Dave's work on CAF. He's pretty pretty prolific when he gets out to cons. There's a lot of con sketches and commissions that he's got out there, and his stuff is always really affordable. I know the head sketch and bust, I had a text Jason because it didn't have a size on it. Oh, and I actually just got a text from Mr. Schechter that Stelfreeze is taking on the potential, if you want to have an oversized painting. It's very, they're pricey. They're at $6,000. But if you've seen the work that that Brian does, especially, he does those really large pieces over at, I'll just switch back to a painting since we're talking about Brian. You've seen the pieces he's done for the hero auctions. They're always spectacular. And if you go over to CAF at all and do any searches for Brian Stelfreeze, you'll definitely be very happy. And I actually got it. Wow. See, I'll just drop this and put, since I'm on camera, I can go like this. So Jason just texted me something like that. If you, and I don't know if he said the size. Oh, and he's in the chat too, so that's good. But there we have it. So there's a few other options. So what I would say too is if you're interested in something a bit more detailed with Brian, that wasn't one of the two options that I just showed. You know how to reach out to Jason at Essential Sequential. Let him know it's for OAX. Let him know what you're interested in, and Jason will hook you up. He said they're usually around 14 by 20 or so. That's a pretty decent size. That's bigger than twice up. So at the end of the day, that's yeah. There you go. Nice Vampirella. I know it's not showing up great on my phone there, everybody, but you get the idea. And you can go over to CAF and see a lot of examples by Brian. But yeah, if you're interested, again, these are good opportunities to get a piece of that kind of caliber. Yeah. Oh, and I'll bring in some atoms or two. Okay, awesome, Jason. So yeah, you can hit up Jason through essentialsequential.com. Really for any of these that I'm showing right now. And if you have any questions, or if there's something, you have a little that doesn't maybe fit into these tiers that we're putting out there, he's the one who can answer those questions for you. Makes it a lot easier. But you can email them into us and we'll forward them all along to Jason. But yeah, he's the man with all of the answers there. Rick Welch said that Stelfreeze grasp on color is second to none. Yeah, I feel the same way, Rick. I definitely do. But no, there will be no Art Adams in person at OAX. He's going to that other show in Orlando the week after ours, I think. But so I was back to Mr. Johnson, though. I didn't, like I say, he's got the head sketch and the bust. Head sketches are at $100, busts at $250. Those are on 9x12s. Full figures are $500, and those are on 11x14. I apologize for not getting those sizes on this slide, but when I get it posted to the OAX website, I will have that information up there. So, and hopefully I'll find a better example than just one image for Dave. And maybe I mean, since Jason's texting me, maybe I can get a couple images texted from him and replace them with whatever ones are more appropriate. So again, if you're interested in anything by Dave, you can hit us up at that email address as well. Now Dave Finch is taking on a couple. Well, he's not taking on. He's got two different size options as well. He has a 9x12 single character head sketch going for $700. If anybody followed, the work he was doing at New York Comic Con, there were fantastic pieces that came out of that that were in this price range, and then some even more where, say at the $2,500 level here on 11x14s, priced at $2,500. So Finch is always highly sought after at shows. We all know that. I mean, if from the time I've started collecting, I mean, I'd always see Finch at San Diego Comic Con, and I never got the chance to speak to him because he always has a line at his table. So, a lot of people like his style, and he's only gotten better over time. So, that's the two options we've got available for pre-con stuff through Essential with this one with David Finch. So 11x14 at $2,500 and single character head sketch 9x12 at $700. And with J.G. Jones on this one, I had a tough time finding the black and white, so I couldn't find a good example on this. But J.G. Jones taking pre-cons as well. These are all on 8.5x11. You can get a black and white torso for $400, a color torso for $500, and also a full figure on that same 8.5x11 for $1,000. So those are the three tier options that you have there. And again, if you have something that maybe doesn't fit perfectly into that, you can contact Jason, let him know you're going to OAX, and let him know what you're interested in. You know, JG, you know, was off the circuit there for a little while, but he's back, and you know, we're really happy that he's coming to OAX. He's somebody, you know, I'd forgotten. I actually have picked up a few pieces from him early in my collecting days. I don't have them anymore, but I was looking through some old scans, and I realized that I actually had gotten him to do a few paintings for me early on, and I kind of regret not having them. But yeah, it'll be pretty cool to see him. I definitely have not seen him in 10 or 12 years at shows, so looking forward to that. But JG's an awesome guy, and we're incredibly happy to have him at the show. So those are the commission options pre-con for JG. And last but not least, Sean Crystal. And I wasn't sure what imagery to pick from this, but he has 4 different options. You can either he's doing sketch cards at 100. He's got 5x8 bust size pieces for $200, and he's also got 8.5 by 11 busts at $325 and 11 by 14 full figure, and those are at $800. And that's cool. I just got a text from Jason as well, so I can go back and show you another example. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to pick. I saw, obviously JG is pretty well known for that Black Widow run that he did, and so he's showing off I think this is it's on a sketch cover painted as an example of the kind of stuff that we all know that JG can do. If you go over to CAF, I think there's about 1,000 pieces of his collected on the site right now, so the kind of work he's done, published, and for shows like OAX. So again, there's the 5 artists that are from Essential, along with Clayman. These 5 will be doing pre-con stuff. Hit us up, shoot us an email, let us know what you're interested in, and we'll get those over to Jason. And again, any specific questions that fall outside of any of those, just email Jason directly. I probably should have just had Jason on tonight. I apologize, Jason. It was a busy day today, but yeah, everybody knows. We were really happy. Jason was one of the first groups that I spoke to. It took us a while to get everything organized and get them listed on the site, but we're really happy to have Jason at the show and all the artists as well. It's just going to be it makes for a lot of fun, and they've got a great spot. They've kind of got the end of an end cap. For one of the islands of the artists that we've got set up. I think on that side of the room, when you first enter there's going to be Felix's on one end cap and Jason's on the other, when they both have the same number of tables. I think it's 6 tables each. So very, very, it's going to be impressive walking into the hall and seeing, all the artists there, and just the way this whole thing is set up. I think everybody's going to be really, really, really thrilled and impressed, because I know I sure as hell am when the whole thing gets started. But thank you, Jason. Yes. All right. So what else we got? I think that was all of the pre-con OAX stuff I had to announce tonight. But oh no, you know what? I actually have one other thing. We've been getting in some of the pieces for the auction. I won't show any of those tonight. We've previewed a few. I'll save some more for next week. I might put some in a newsletter here or there, but it's pretty awesome getting to see the pieces that are coming in. Those Mike Allred painted pieces, those 3 foot by 4 foot paintings, they're on their way right now. Maybe I'll be doing an unboxing next Thursday to show those off. I know the crotch goblin's on the way too, but as far as the auction pieces go, I think we've got 5 pieces that are 100% for Hero that have come in, or there were some pieces that I had here that were on. We'd shown on a few other shows that didn't sell, but one of the pieces that'll be in the auction, and for a Hero, that we're 100% of that is going to it, is if anybody watched the Mike Oming show that we did last, there was a Star Wars cover that didn't sell, and Mike is donating that to the Hero auction 100%. And that was a really nice cover. I was kind of surprised it didn't sell. It was priced at like $1,750, I think. But it's a fantastic image, and it will be in the art auction with 100% of the proceeds going to Hero. And one thing I should let you know is that with the auction, we're doing effectively a revenue split with the artists on these. In most cases, and 10% of the revenue that we make from the art auction, we are donating to the Hero Initiative as well. So, while we have a few pieces that are 100%, for Hero that are donated by creators, we're going to be donating 10% of any of the auction revenue that we would have made to Hero as well. So, we've supported Hero for quite some time, and this is just another opportunity for us to do that. I haven't even told Jim McLaughlin that we're doing it. For the first time in like 2 weeks, we haven't talked every day. So it's been ever since the holiday. I haven't had a chance to let him know that we decided to do that. But that's the direction we're taking. But the thing that I did want to show you is, and it's funny, I'm looking at my slides. I didn't upload it, so I'll just upload it right now if I can find it. Oh, there it is. I was emailing with Gerhard. He had, we were talking about when he's coming in and when he needed to leave and just some other stuff. And he's, as you know, Gerhard is doing the backgrounds on the Adam Hughes Red Sonja piece that's going to be in the auction. And I haven't seen the work on that yet. I'm sure it's going to be, absolutely stunning when we get to see that. But he and I had this email exchange, and I asked him, because I want to do whatever I can to promote everybody that's coming. I had asked Gerhard if, would you be sketching? What can I tell people that you're going to be doing when you're at the show? Because I've never seen him at a show. I don't know if anybody else has either. So, I know there's work out there. I've certainly seen sketches and things by him. And I'm sure everybody has too. But, who can actually say they've seen him at a show? So I asked him what he'd be doing. And he told me that he does, he really doesn't like sketching at shows. He doesn't, for OAX, he's like, I want to be able to talk to everybody. I want to be able to have my head up, enjoying my time there as much as I can. Whoever his table mates are, which we've already got all the assignments done. I can't remember. I think Gerhard is, I think is he next to Leighton and Jurgens? I can't remember, but whatever it is, he's in a really good group. But in that email, he sends me this scan. It has, and it's small, so you can't really. I'm not gonna, because I didn't want to show off all the detail on here. But he's doing pre-drawn pieces, and they are beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. He has pre-drawn pieces that he's bringing, and he's also going to be bringing a selection of service pieces as well. And and anything that he has never been on the market, and he only sells lots of these like once every year when he brings them out. So and sometimes even less than that. I mean, he works with Chuck Costas a bit on that. I had that show with Gerhard a couple of years ago, but I can show you the slide. So yeah, he sends me this one image that has 30 plus sketches on them, and they're small. They're like postcard size, a little bigger. He said they're pre-drawn on like 4x6 on 7x11 Bristol. But I know you can't see the detail on there. I purposely made it very small. But look at that. I mean, trust me, these things are fantastic. And so he also said, like I said, he'll be bringing some Cerberus originals that'll be range price from like 500 to 2,000. But again, all stuff fresh to market, never before seen. And then all of these fantastic small sketches that will be priced very affordably. And I told him, when I emailed them, just so everybody knows, I'm like, we're all collectors, and I told them that the big thing is you got to limit the number that you'll sell to any individual in the first 3 hours. Just because there's gonna be, like we already just said, I've sold over 350 tickets. We have over 350 collectors in the room. You add in the dealers and other exhibitors, we've got 450 people who are art collectors. Somebody could go in with a lot of money and buy them all. So and he didn't reply to me yet because I emailed him about an hour or two before the show. But I just said, you gotta promise me that you set a limit on these, because there's like no way he doesn't sell out of them. And you don't want to see one person getting a dozen of them, because that wouldn't be fair. I mean, hopefully he's got 31 now. Maybe he'll have another 15 to add to that. But still, that means a whole lot of people who might have wanted one are going to be left out. So that was my rule. So anybody who had any aspirations of buying them all, it's not going to happen. But let's see. I see Khalil's. Okay, good. Thank you for answering the questions in the chat. And hey, Khalil, I've got good news for you, man. I might be going to New Zealand now too, as Berkey's +1. Maybe we should try to figure out how we can go to the Marvel exhibit together. I don't know when you're going there, but I might have a free flight and a trip out there to see it. That'd be pretty cool if we could make it where we could work it out and go at the same time. Shots fired at Anthony, says Octavio. Well, that was going to be in general, that was going to be our rule. We don't want any sales happening on the floor prior to the show. I mean, we're not, it's not like we're going to have somebody policing it, but we're going to remind people that that's the idea. Attendees spend a lot of money to go to shows, and a lot of times they get screwed. And we all know that. We've been on the receiving end of being screwed at shows where things get bought up by people with exhibitor badges and all those things. And so, everybody should have the same opportunity to get the art. And so, it will be something that we remind the artists, when they're collecting their badges and getting set up, like, don't sell anything in advance, try to, at the very least do that. Because all of all the collectors attending, they're going to have their objectives when they come in the door. Somebody's going to want to go to Adam Hughes' table, Gerhard. They're going to want to go over and get in to see what Finch has brought. Those sorts of things. But it should be fair. When there should be like a once the horn sounds, everybody is got the same chance of getting things. And Tim says it's highly appreciated, right? Yeah, it is. Well, it's just is what it is. I mean, we all know what it's like. So we're going to do our best to try to keep the peace and just make good suggestions to the people who are there. So I offered that bit of advice to Gerhard and a few other things as well. So because at the end of the day, those guys like that who are going to put that much effort into it, I wish every collector could walk away with one of those pieces, because who wouldn't? I mean, I've never owned a piece of art that Gerhard's touched. I want to get one, and it just is what it is. There'll be there will be people who will be disappointed, but we'll do our best. Jason's just going to be socializing unless there's X-Men art. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I guess maybe now that was the only other slide I had for you guys tonight. Let's see. I'm not going to have a horn. Maybe we'll have to have something. I don't know what it'll be. We'll have something. Maybe a gong. I don't know. We'll come up with something interesting. But at the end of the day, we've talked about it numerous times. The first several hours of the show is going to be pretty special and pretty interesting to watch. And again, as we've talked earlier, we've got 4 people who are going to be there shooting video, who are dedicated to that and documenting everything. I mean, we'll be the best documented, show in the country, I'd say. And it's going to be pretty fun to have all of that material to kind of show after the show, so that people who weren't able to make it get a good feel for what the show's like. It will make promoting year 2 so much easier. So like Mr. Nick Berrucci just said, 97 watching, 42 likes. Nick Berrucci, he will be the co-auctioneer along with Mr. Jimmy Palmiotti. So the auction on Saturday night is going to be fun. You guys are going to be gorging yourselves on pizza and a cash bar that evening, but you're also going to be able to be bidding on some great art at the same time. So speaking of great art, why don't I'll just go ahead. Now, this isn't actually, I'm gonna unbox a few things, show you a few things I picked up when I was in Ohio. This was a gift from Gwen, so it's not an original, but it is, it's one of those canvas prints. And I've told you before, I was a big gamer, played Doom all the time. So Gwen bought me a canvas print with the Doom guy in all his glory. So I used to play. I was one of the original LAN guys, first to play Quake. I played in the first Red Annihilation tournament at E3 when that was open to the public. So I'm a big gamer, and so my daughter was always looking out for Doom related stuff for me. But while I was in Ohio, I did pick up 5 pieces from Mike. Happy to buy these. Finally, I had them on hold forever. I did show a couple of these off last week, but I've got a much bigger audience tonight. We got over 100 people watching tonight. So this is a Bernie Wrightson piece, probably done at a show from 1969. It's pretty black. I'm never going to own a really great published page by Bernie. So when I was thinking about, well, what would, just looking through stuff that Berkey had, this was in one of the long lost duffel bags of art over there. And so I picked this one up, but yeah, pretty cool. I mean, 69, that's, within the first 2 years of people seeing a lot of interesting pieces by him and getting to know his name. So I thought a Conan piece, right? I mean, shoot, that's, I love it. It's got a little crease in it. Clearly it's discolored. It was framed, But hey, that one is now mine. And I did show this other one off. This piece by Lionel Yu from X-Men 102. I don't know. Was this inked by Dex? I think Dexter Vines was inking him back then. I can't remember, but I told you guys last week I had a piece, a DPS from probably the same issue, and sold it. It was one of the first pieces of published art I bought, and I sold it, and I've regretted it ever since. And now I've got a nice replacement. The pieces I did not show you. Let's see here. First, this is a let's see, Kupperberg. I don't know who inked this one. Could be Milgram. Oh no, Mooney. It's actually got Mooney's signature on the bottom of this. This is from Thor 322. It's the end page from it, and it's got a nice Thor transformation from Thor to Don Blake in it, and in the first panel, and from there, first panel over there, and then Don, having his usual banter with the nurses, but. I thought this was pretty cool. I mean, anytime you can get a transformation page, that's good. Maybe it's not the best image ever of Thor and Don Blake, but it's mine now, and I'm very happy. And I think as far as Kupperberg goes, I mean, I'm always trying to check boxes off as far as getting examples from people who were doing work during the time when I was, buying my comics at the local drugstore. So Kupperberg was one of those. And these next two pieces are from artists as well that I've never owned anything by either of these guys. And I've always been looking for examples. And it's just that, they didn't work on Thor too much, or they didn't work on any X books. So it's hard for me to find pieces that I like. And both of these pages are actually from Iron Man. So this first one is from, is it 158? Yeah, this is from Iron Man 158. It's Carmen Infantino, and Carmen did not work on too many Marvel books. This is from 1982. So Milgram inks on this one. So nice image there of Iron Man crashing, and you got Iron Man in a couple panels. So I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, as far as getting, because Infantino, I mean, he's one of those acquired taste artists in their own way. I mean, I think Nick would probably say he loved his work on Flash. He was great on that. I think his art style fit that really well. So Milgram does a pretty decent job of handling the inks on this page. So happy to have that one. So now I've got Infantino checked off, and then Tuska. Remember, I've always talked about Tuska, and it's hard to find a piece of Tuska art that you want to get. It's a third page splash. It is, Tim. My goodness, that top panel makes it a third page splash. But yeah, so Tuska. I've got a Tuska Iron Man page, and obviously Tuska is pretty well known for drawing Iron Man. But I have a page with no Iron Man on it. But it didn't matter because I actually liked it. And okay, I was talking with Jason earlier today. The villain's name is Blizzard. Why I didn't remember that. So here you have this. This one's from 76. This is what issue is this? This is issue 86 from Iron Man. But it's got Blizzard all over it. Tuska pencils and Coletta inks actually. So a good example. Again, it's like I have a hard time finding decent Tuska pieces that I'd want to get, and I'm happy with that one. Got some spliced in panels there and some other work done to it, but yeah, happy to have that. Now that we got my art out of the way, we can dive over into this is the last mystery sketch box from Jiggy, and it's not his fault that it's coming in right now. He actually had everything packed up and ready to go before I went to Ohio, and because of the holiday, when he went to DHL, we were trying to get in the Philippines. We were hoping we could get them to commit to a 2-day turnaround, because I think I was leaving in 4 days, and they wouldn't commit to that. And so I didn't want to run the risk of having the art sit on my porch until the neighbors came by it, because I had somebody checking my mail and everything and feeding the cats. But so I told Jiggy to hold off on sending me the package until he got it in the mail on the 2nd, because obviously DHL was closed on the 1st. So he put it in on the 2nd in the Philippines, and it got here in 2 days. So that was pretty awesome. So this is the second batch of art from Jiggy. like I said, I'm not even sure of all the pieces that are in here, but we're going to get it open. We're going to start packing these up tomorrow. I'll start shipping them on Saturday, and everybody will have these. So I apologize for the delay on this one. We always try to get these things done, and at least in the mail to me when I'm the one shipping them within a couple weeks. We had a little bit of a delay on here. I know Jiggy had a busy con season in December, but we will do better in May. I promise you that. Because one of the things I definitely know I can do a better job on is when we have stuff that goes overseas like this. I could be getting him his list of things to start earlier. Even a couple weeks. I can, even though we get more than half of the sales in the last 2 weeks, if I can get him some of his lists, even 3 weeks out, that gives his artists a little bit more time. So live and learn. So in May, we will do a better job of that on these ones that have to kind of go through 2 steps in shipping to get where they're going. Let's see. Joe K said he lost a Tuska Iron Man page last night on Heritage. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. The thing is, there are a lot of them. Tuska did work a lot on Iron Man. I mean, and there's a ton of convention sketches out there, color pieces and what from Tuska. Like I said, I've just never really seen the right page for me. I'll show that one. All right, and this is about. I forget how Jiggy packs so well. I should have pre-opened this, but good things come to those who wait. All right. So let's see here. Gosh, more tape. There we go. All right. And a little bit more tape. We'll get there. I don't know if Jiggy's watching. I haven't seen him in the chat tonight. So let's see. And it's like watching ice melt, isn't it? All right. Well, we've got I think this top one's by Sowie. Wow. I did not see again. I had no idea what was going to be in this. I just knew the collectors because I shot several of them emails letting them know that their shipment was going to be a little bit delayed. All right. So I may butcher who did some of these pieces, but let's see here. So yeah, this is a definite piece by Sowie. Look at that. Yowza. Sally was on the maybe list for this year at OAX. So hopefully she's on the confirmed list for OAX too. But early on, she was one of 6 or 7 people that Jiggy and I were talking about. And it just didn't quite work out for us in year 1. But wow, I know. Holy mackerel, she is good. And here's another one by her. Very nicely done. Isis, I assume. Is that she doesn't write any of the information out there, but very, very well done. I have not gotten a piece from her yet, but one day I will. I'm missing the chat a bit. I know you guys are carrying on good conversations amongst each other. Almighty Isis, says Derek. And here's a nice tonal piece by her as well. Very, very cool. She's put some. I'm sure it's some kind of gold paint on here. Let's see. Take a look at that. Wonder Woman. Very nice. These are all 9 by 12. And I've got a piece by Gigzilla, JP. I know who's getting this one. And it isn't Marcus. I'm just saying it is not Marcus, everybody. I think somebody dared somebody during one of our shows, mystery sketch shows. They said, you got to get the crotch goblin. Somebody should get a crotch goblin. Well, somebody did get a crotch goblin, and JP got to draw it. So I'm not going to ask JP to show off the photographic reference that he used. I mean, I'm sure he looked at the masterpiece that's on its way here to CAF HQ, but we have that piece right there. So it will be in a CAF gallery soon. I can promise you that. Now this is a Julius Abrera piece, Black Widow, all color, fantastic. Look at the shards of glass. That's really, really slick. I like that. The Black Widow shape there as well. And we've got a Nightwing by Julius here. Well, next comic art always delivers pretty well on these. These are slick. And a Cable by Julius Herrera as well. Very good, very good. And well, another piece by Julius. This one, it's on a little heavier watercolor paper. I think we showed this one during, we had a scan of this one. So a little wardrobe malfunction from She-Hulk in the courtroom. You know, that guy's not too happy, but you know, he's a judge. He's a judge. He's trying not to judge her, but you know, what he's staring at the end of the day. Very nicely done by Julius. I think whoever's getting that one's going to be very happy. This one's by Mr. Baldissimo, Eternity. A lot of detail on that one. Pull that back again. These are all 9 by 12, as we instructed for these, but sometimes the artists do them a little bit larger. You're going to see a few of those in a minute here. Another Nightwing by Baldissimo. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like that. A lot of motion in that one. Then we got a Grendel piece here. I think I know who that one's going to. A lot of detail. And we've got another one by one. We got a Incredible Hulk. Edge to edge, like all the other ones. Now, these were done on 11 by 17, it looks like. We've got, by Cantata. So let's see. This one is a Wolverine. Look at that. And remember, $200 for each of these pieces, everybody, when we do these mystery sketches. $200 plus the $25 for shipping. So very good value when we do the mystery sketches. And, you know, I think Jiggy was the first rep that I spoke to when we thought of doing these 2 years ago, and they've delivered pretty well every time. And then we got a shadow piece here. This is almost like a panel, you know, it's like a splash page, right, with the inset panel at the top. But Cantata knocked this one out too, and I think this one might be good going to Peter Rowe, if I'm not mistaken. So that's fantastic. Congrats to Peter if it's yours. I know one of these pieces was for Peter. I bet it's got to be that one. So there you have it. That is the remainder, the last of the mystery sketches going out. I'll actually be doing some of the guys. Jerry Bourne has a piece in here, and it's in one of these other packages. See, he's got another package here. But Jerry is going to be doing an unboxing set. And I told him I would be on there with him. So we will definitely have another unboxing show to do. It won't be on my channel, but I'll promote it for everybody so they can see it. Now, I have one more thing to open here. Let's see. And I don't recall what it is. Oh no, actually I have 2 things to open. Sorry. It's like Christmas here all over. But this came from Anthony. And I don't remember ordering anything from Anthony, so I'm not sure what we're going to get. Oh, it's like a card from Anthony. Is that what it is? We're going to find out. Or it's, we're going to, let me see. I gotta get inside here. Oh, that's right. I remember this now. You know, my daughters played cymbal when they were in marching band. Yeah, even though they were homeschooled, they did marching band when we were back in Ohio. And Anthony picked this up and wanted the girls to have it. So Bill Morrison, very nicely done. Donald Duck, and you got some symbols there. So, but filled with Christmas greeting cards from Anthony as well. So yeah, that'll be a nice surprise. I didn't tell the girls that that was sent. Thank you, Anthony and Sharon. Is that your eternity? I believe it is, actually. I definitely believe it is. Hey, John. So yeah, one last package. This one came in from Tatiana. And I'm like, Tatiana, did you actually send? You know, I love this. I got to figure out where she got the paper tape with her logo printed on it. Tatiana's always good with branding, and so I thought that was pretty cool. I want to get some for us here. I'd like to start wrapping in, the art that I ship in branded tape as well. Saves us the trouble of putting stickers on the packages, which my daughters do like to do. So for those of you who've had art shipped from us, oh wow, there is an envelope for me that I know what that is, so I don't need to open that in front of everybody. Let's see here. What do we got here? My goodness. Boy, Tatiana puts the time into this stuff. Let's see here. Oh, that's right. Remember, she was showing off the different swag stuff she's got. I just dropped a pen, I think. But I've got some. I can always need post-it notes around here. So now I've got some TD art, post-it note, couple pens, and a notepad, and some other stuff here. Let's see what do we got here. That's. Yeah, Tatiana's awesome. Tatiana's going to be at OEX, as everybody knows, with Ryan Odagawa. Second here, what do we got? Oh, a bunch of stickers, it looks like. Nice. Well, I got it. There's a Wolverine. I could give that to, I could put that on my stuff or give it to Jason because he's a big Wolverine fan. Oh, nice. It looks like a lot of pieces from her artists. That's cool. Very, very cool. And a Christmas card as well. And what else we got here? Oh, it says, congratulations, you got a piece of art. You can see that. It's pretty light. What do we got here? Oh, nice. I don't recognize the signature on it, but it is a Batman sketch card. I'll have to ask her who signed that because it's very, very small, so I can't make it out. It looks like a T and an R. Sweet. Thank you, Tatiana. And then there's a book of some kind here as well. So let's see what else you put in here. A couple books. So that's that one. Oh, sweet. Yeah, she did. They did an art book, so I've got that one too. Sorry, the lights are way too bright with the plastic. And no, one more. There we go. So awesome! Thank you so much, Tatiana. This is it's a belated Christmas for me. I appreciate that. But I did email Tatiana and I asked her where she bought that paper tape from because I am going to buy that and I'm going to use it when I'm shipping any art from here in the future. I don't have any place to set stuff anymore. All right. So there you have it. There you have it. So I've been missing a lot of stuff in the chat. I hope Kazra has been keeping everybody entertained and in line while I was going through all that. But thank you for putting up with me. A lot of stuff to open up there, and I see looks like several commission requests came in while I was doing this. So I'll Kazra and I'll be responding to everybody and getting these over to Jason. So that's awesome. Sorry, I haven't even had a chance to look at my email during that time either. But what's next? That's actually a really good question. I bet you, Mr. Snork is probably wondering when he can enter the green room. It's Chris. If you're ready and raring to go, we could probably even just get started with the CAF update before I've got to do the EXP preview and the heritage picks. But if you're in the audience still, Chris, you might as well hop in here. But one thing I can talk to you about, because I did mention it at the beginning of the show, the best of has started. As everybody knows, it's our annual competition. It's a pseudo competition. It really is a celebration of the hobby and collectors and collecting. And it is somewhat, it's tough to get the top spot and to get an award and get the trophy. We've got, we gave these out last year. It's the same as the ones we gave out for the best of 2021. My uncle, when he 3D printed these, he did glue most of these down. Unfortunately, year one, everybody got to take their hammer off. You don't get to do that. You didn't get to do that with this one, but we're going to try to do a different base for year three, and then do a totally different award in year four. So hopefully we're going to be able to pull that off in the next month. But it'll still have a hammer that won't be glued to the base, but we're expecting to have a different base for year three. So the best ofs, we've been doing them for a long time. Brian Peck, really was the guy who kind of kept the spirit of that running for a long time. It started out with Comic Art L, and I took over hosting it at some point. It feels like probably 12, 13 years ago, but we really started making it fun and more a part of CAF and what we do around here on a daily basis. About it was it was really kind of right around the pandemic, right? I mean, maybe the year before that or a few years before that, we got the programming down a little bit better, but we didn't do anything fun. We didn't have an actual celebration and awards presentation, but we do that now with the best ofs. And so for those of you new to it, or who just need a refresher, I'll probably send out a mailing about this tomorrow or over the weekend. But on CAF, you can go into, let's see, I'm just sharing things here. Right underneath the Your Account and Collection menu is a Enter Best of 2023 option now. So when you click that, it takes you to this page right here, where what it does is it shows you the pieces of art that you added to CAF in 2023. So it makes it easy for you. You don't have to hunt around and figure out what and where, or add these pieces new. And the thing is, you can't add them now. It's over. If you didn't add it in 2023, you can't enter. What you'll do is you'll come in here, you'll see the pieces that you've added. And if you want to pick, everything's defaulting to not participating, but the categories that you can assign the pieces to are all listed here. We did add 2 new categories this year because it comes up a lot. People were suggesting coming up with like a $500 and under, or $1,000 and under with every level. And I just felt like it's just not something that we want to program for right now. So I decided to put a published, unpublished $500 and under category in there. I mean, clearly that's a piece that should fit into one of the other categories. But if you want to try to, put it in there and exemplify that, that one piece, because it's a fantastic commission that's clearly not going to win the commission category when somebody's posting a commission from Frank Frazetta or something like that, it's not going to win. And you want to put it over there, and because it might garner, some extra views and interest. I think it's it's a fine thing to, give a try here. We'll see how people use it and post to it. Because at the end of the day, this is your opportunity to kind of show the site and show everybody who's a fan of CAFs what 5 pieces are your most favorite from the prior year. I know that there's a lot of groups on Facebook that have taken over and done the same thing. That's all well and good, but we've been doing it here for a lot longer than it's been going on over there. So you have this option with 500 under, and then I added a option for mystery sketch, because you figure every year now we're going to be putting out 400 or more mystery sketches, and I just felt like it's time. We're gonna have our own mystery sketch category for the best ofs, and let it roll. Because there's a lot of great pieces that get produced for the mystery sketch every year, and this will give those who participate in it the opportunity to kind of showcase those pieces one last time too. So I know I've got the date somewhere around here. I had the dates like they're coming out of the database and not set up exactly as I want. Like here it says the 16th is the cutoff point. If I'm not mistaken, let me look at the calendar here. It should say the 18th. So you're going to have 2 weeks to post artwork to the best of. So you'll post to the 18th, and then beginning on the 19th is when we'll have the voting set up. And the voting will go from the 19th until the 1st of February. And we'll close it at midnight. And these all end, the posting times are always ending at midnight Eastern Standard. So posting will end midnight Eastern on the 18th, and voting will end February 1st at midnight Eastern Standard Time. And then on February 6th, we'll have the best of awards presentation. Mikhail has always been my co-presenter on that for the last couple of years. So I guess I'll have to dust off my tux and get ready for that. But it's always a good time for those of you who tune in and watch the shows, because it is fun. It's a way for us to acknowledge great artworks posted over the year, but also the collectors who pick them up, and and again those who like to share them, and it's a great opportunity for some choice pieces in your collection to get viewed again. So and all these pieces, they really are pulling from your CAF gallery, so it's not like you're not re-adding these again or anything like that. So it's increasing the views and potential comments and all those sorts of things on pieces that you already have in your CAF gallery. So very well integrated into the whole overall site structure. But I'll try to get Brian to stop in for a little bit. He usually can't, but Brian is the guy who kind of kept this thing going for a long time, and he's the one who does most of the postings out there socially about it. I just handle the mailings and things like that, but he's out there doing the grunt and grind work as far as getting the word out on the CGC boards and wherever else he posts about it. But yeah, so there you have that. And again, I wasn't watching the chat again. I hate to say it, but Chris is hanging out. He's in the chat. He's in the green room, ready to go. Might as well bring him in. Hey, Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. You posted some nice art this week. I thought about picking some of your pieces, and I'm like, I don't want to play favorites with my
co-host. You can't do that. They get a lot of attention anyway, thanks to the exposure. I do have a piece I haven't added to CAF yet, if you don't mind if I show it.
Oh no, please do. Yeah, let's see what you got.
I picked up a Miko Swyan finally.
Ah, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you pick this up? How did you get it?
That was on eBay.
Really?
Of all places, came from the Netherlands.
No kidding.
Oh.
Was it up there for a while, or was it at auction? How did you get it?
I don't know. I think I saw it. I actually think I saw it on CAF. On the hot auctions or whatever that's called on CAF, and that's typically the only way I see something that's on eBay now. Yeah, messaged the guy, made a deal.
Well, fantastic, man. Well, congratulations. I love Miko's work.
Yeah, me too. The fact that it's published is even better.
Very, very true. Yeah, he will be at OAX. I guess we talked with him about potentially doing pre-con stuff, but he just wasn't able to fit it into his schedule. I think he was hoping. He was like, maybe I can squeeze in a few in January, and he's traveling all the time. If you follow him on Facebook, he's in the States a lot, and he hits a lot of shows. I don't know how he does the work that he does. It's so hyper detailed, and with him traveling, so I mean, he literally must bring everything. All his art supplies are with him wherever he goes.
That's wild.
Yeah, but no, I love his stuff. He's a really nice guy. Have you ever met him?
I have not. No, looking forward to that for sure.
Really
I had to scratch the itch. It's one of my favorite characters, and so yeah, pulled the trigger.
Carlos says he has. I think that was part of the reason why we didn't take him to Carlos, because he has another list that he was working on, and he wasn't able to get through it. And they were like, "Well, we don't want to start a new list, even if it's for OAX. It's better to
sure
stick to the list you got." And
that's the classy route.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've seen what happens when you don't do that. It's just taking. So no, that I think that makes a lot of sense there. Canitas is hot. Yeah, he's anything but hot, Marcus. He's as cold can be. But so hey, well, let's see. I usually have other segments to do, but tonight gosh, I'll tell you, man, it was just crazy busy all day today. We've just got so many things going on. I finally got the badge designs done. I have we're doing something. No. Well, no. We actually showed them to the artist whose artwork we used, and because I did all the work, and then I said, "Do you think we should ask this artist if they care if we're going to use their art on the badges?" And so I made Casper email them to find out if it was cool or not, and they were happy. They were really happy that we chose to use their art, so it worked out good. But yeah, we wanted the badges to look really cool, and they're basically set up where you're gonna with a space for you to put your name on it. I mean, it's kind of because we didn't want everybody to wear a "Hello, my name is" type of thing. So there'll be a space on the lanyard for you to write your name. If you have poor handwriting, you'll be getting your badge from Maureen, and she has fantastic handwriting. So if you want her to write your name in there for you, she will do it.
I think I've said this before, but when I get a piece of art and the artist has lettered my name on, like Frank Cho, Kevin Nolan, they have like really distinctive, handwriting. I keep those.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, that makes sense. Sure.
Yeah.
And then what else did I get done today? I got we have I don't want to give everything away, but I did something special for we've got I won't tell you. It's one of the swag items that'll come in handy at some point during the show, and so I got that done today. So it was very productive, but it's just like, man, it's like you look up and it's like it's 2:00 already. It's like, shoot, man. And then the next time I look up, it's 6:00. My whole day's going by, and you're but it's all fun stuff. It's the creative side of the show now that I can't say Kazra's working. Kazra's still dealing with the less pleasant side of some of the stuff, but because that's the one thing. Every day we get something new that makes our stomach like drop, and then usually by the next day it's like, oh, okay, it worked out. But it's like it's like getting punched in the gut every single day, one thing or another, and where it's just like you're just like, damn it, I thought we were past a mix up with the hotel rooms or whatever, and it's just like, how does this keep happening? But hey, whatever. Pop Sequentialist wants to know beef. There's no beef between me and Chris Kanitis. He had a calf gallery, and I let him know that he wasn't he wasn't wanted on calf anymore in a polite way. I just said, this is the vibe I'm getting, and it's probably in your best interest to just go, and don't ask me to help you. And so that we just did it like that. It was rather polite. But he's not AI. No, I don't even want to get into it. The guy photocopies a lot of stuff, basically.
I'm sure you were a lot nicer than I would have been.
Yeah, well, I try to be, because it's like you figure even in any case, you're dealing with somebody's livelihood one way or another, right? And so when you go, even if they're not on the up and up, I still feel bad about it. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's right for the site. And that's all that
and
was.
For all of us.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, exactly. So it wasn't a hard decision to make. And so everybody's going, oh, that Kanitis. Yeah, it's that Kanitis. So but fortunately, that hasn't I don't have to do that too often. I maybe only had to do that twice in 21 years of running.
No, that's a great ratio.
Yeah, I mean, most people have better respect for the arts and everything than that. People who take shortcuts, they're obviously not welcome. We had that AI artist on the site, remember, and I had to get him to turn off a few pieces. So it happens, and we'll just have to keep an eye on things. But yeah, let's get on with things. What we got? I got my heritage picks in a window here somewhere. At least I thought I did. Let's see. Oh yeah, here they are. Close that one. All right, so there were some okay things on Heritage this week. This was a Hulk 197 splash. This was that Man-Thing issue. Sal Buscema, Joe Staten, and I mean, to me, it's just cool to see an early title page from Hulk from 197 and from a book that I always thought was pretty cool. So and it's classic Sal Hulk, right? I mean, it's kind of unmistakable, and he's in a swamp. Then I mean, you don't see a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff from the original run. This is a Jim Lawson piece, but a nice splash page. So you see something like that, and what is it at? It's $400 now on day one. But I thought it was kind of cool. It looks like it's on Duo Shade board too, which is kind of weird. But for those of you who've never seen it, I'm actually going to bring a couple pieces of art to OAX that have Duo Shade on it. And I didn't talk about that earlier today, but Alexandra Von Hawk, the art restorer, will be there. I invited her to come in. She's gonna be there on Sunday at OAX. She'll have a kind of a panel discussion. I think around 1:30 is the time I got her set up for. But she's just a fun lady. She, the thing is, so if anybody has pieces that they were ever thinking about having any restoration done to, or had questions about it, I'd highly encourage you to bring it with you on Sunday for sure, because it's, she'll be very open. I bet you she can even come close to quoting it while it's there. She won't take it, more than likely. Well, maybe she might. Maybe she'll bring stuff, but she's very by the book. She won't take anything until you sign an agreement, because she doesn't want to handle the art. And so very unlike what you usually get out there. But she's very thorough, and so she'll be there. And the thing is, I was going to put her information in a mailing, and I would say anybody that's interested in potentially having her do work, email her in advance. Show her this, show her scans of the work you might want her to do, and if she's up for it, bring it with you. You can hand deliver it to her, and get everything signed, sealed, and delivered, and not have to worry about shipping it. But the only reason I thought of her when I saw this is because this stuff makes her cringe. She's like, "What the hell is this? If there was anything wrong with the duo shade board, I don't think I can do anything to it." Yep. Because it's it's just all full of chemicals and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like she's like
the board itself.
Yeah, because I remember she's like, I never want to work on one, because I don't know what to do. But anyway, let's see here. So I just thought, again, with this piece, just kind of cool, because you just don't see pages. This is from '93, I think it was. At any rate, so what else we got here? Jack Davis piece. I know there's a few Buffalo Bills fans out there, Mr. DiTullio. So I just saw this and I thought of Matt, because I he and I are friends on Facebook, and he's earlier in the year he wanted to fire the coach, and now I think he's like made amends with the coach. I don't know, but I saw that and I thought of Matt. So Matt,
is this JD's team too? I think it might be.
Really?
I think. I mean, he's in that neck of the woods ish.
It wouldn't. Well, wait, Jason's he's a Dolphins fan.
Oh, wow.
Remember, he's that he's into Miami. I don't know how a guy from Jersey got into a team in Miami, but he is all about that. So if I ever see a Miami Dolphin character, drawn by Davis, I'll be sure to highlight that for Jason.
Because he's a flipper.
And then I picked this Bruce Timm. I see this and I think, we always think about Bruce Timm and the artists he kind of emulates. I see this color piece and I think Gil Elfgren, those classic poses from the 50s and pinup artwork. And, and maybe if this, and maybe if this wasn't in color, I wouldn't see the same kind of references and everything, but the pose is perfect, and being in color, I just like this piece a lot. I mean, it's, I don't know what
Yeah, you don't see this kind of stuff anymore either. I mean, this is from a time period that's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an undated piece, but you just don't. Albert has he's like 3 or 4 Timm art drops a year, and this is not what you could get from him. And this is just so nice. I mean, I love the fact that she's outlined in like where it's her flesh, it's in an orange. Where it's her costume, it's in a green. I mean, it's a beautiful piece. So whoever ends up with this thing
is vibrant,
isn't it? I mean, it's nice. I don't care what this could be on a 8x10 piece, and she's only 5 inches tall. It's a fantastic piece of art. Then Passarin. I know you're a fan of Fernando's artwork, and so I just thought this was just an hyper detailed, wonderful piece. It's from Green Lantern Corps 6. I just thought it was awesome. The action's crazy.
Like hit level.
Isn't it crazy? I mean, this thing is it's just so damn awesome. I mean, from top to bottom. I mean, when I looked at it, I was like, shoot, this thing it's wonderful. I love the inking on this thing. I mean, it's great. It's a great piece. This is something that you'd wish was like twice up or something, because there's just so much detail in it.
It's so cool how the black shapes like break up the image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. That's kind of like a Rorschach test.
It is. Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, you're absolutely right. But yeah, great piece there. I mean, I love Fernando's work too. Let's see. I picked a Nick Klein Thor. I have a piece from Nick Klein from this run. I like his work a lot. Obviously, everybody's digging his Hulk work. I just thought this was, just a really nice composition, because it's usually like, giants, it's using a splash page and then insetting panels on it. It's gorgeous. It's really, really beautiful.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, you get some subtle stuff and some bombastic stuff on the same page. It's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. See, look at that. I love it. So 175 on that one. Then this was cool because it's Yates, and it's definitely clearly in Yates. It's Yates' style. I just love the fact that there's no midtones in this. It's black or white, and
True.
Boy, he just crams the detail in this thing so well. I mean, you got these rats, coming behind Dracula here as he's fighting Zorro, but I just love the execution of the piece, the craftsmanship of his technique, and I just think this is wonderful. I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at it. Subject matter aside, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just, this is a beautiful piece of art. I mean, I love this the figure with the hair here. I just think it's fantastic.
Wow, it is very stark, but it's so balanced.
Mm-hmm. And I don't even know, is it cover? It's a wraparound cover. Okay, for Topps from 1994. Cool. 2 more pieces here. I picked a Kevin McGuire. I think we've picked stuff from Kevin before. I just thought this was kind of a fun piece. I mean, it's inked by somebody named Will Blyberg. I'm not familiar with Will, but a good page.
DC inker.
Well, that's why I'm not familiar with him. But just a good page. We're always, whenever we think of McGuire, we think of his faces and things like that. But this is like a nice action page. You get it, characters upside down, different views, close-ups, and then overall, it's a very well constructed page. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot. And again, McGuire, I would almost always be looking for. I wouldn't pick a piece of McGuire's art unless it had like great facial expressions on it, because that's what I think everybody wants. So I saw this, I'm like, we'll go with some action.
It's kind of the nature of the beast with his stuff, though, because I feel like he gets put on, like, not that he was typecast necessarily, but kind of,
Mm-hmm.
like he did books that were kind of like superhero comedy so much that I felt like it was a lot of talking and reacting and things like that. It's nice to see him do action.
Agreed. Absolutely. That was why I wanted it. And then this last piece, there was actually a lot of other pieces I could have picked, but I went with this Tula Late Star Wars piece. I don't know if it's published or not. I didn't really look. So doesn't really say. But I just thought it was really nice. Graphic, fun. In that way, I using the yellow as just a way to give was basically just a single figure illustration, just more depth and grounding the figure more on the page. I mean, the yellow it's kind of used as a shadow maybe on a wall behind her. I don't know, but it's enjoyable to see because it's almost the same tone with the yellow. And it just makes the piece really fun. I'd love to see like a series, and maybe there is a series that she did by, in characters like this with different colors. I mean, it's just really nice. And I love pieces that have, that are more, more graphically grounded in sound.
Yep.
And this one really, checks a lot of boxes for me for that.
What I was just going to say is like the yellow is clearly like it's a graphic element, but it adds a lot of visual interest because it's a very static pose. And it's a realistic, I mean, her likenesses are incredible. Mm-hmm. So you've basically got like an illustration of an actress in a costume, so to speak, right? But that yellow really does like add a pop, like it livens it up.
It does. It really does. Yeah, I mean, I've always liked her work, and this was cool. So yeah. And only at $52. Who knows what it'll end up? But again, there were a lot of really this weekly auction had some pretty cool pieces in there. I think Heritage maybe took a few weeks off over the holidays, putting their big stuff out. But definitely this weekly auction has some choice pieces in it. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide that. So next up we have the EXP preview, as we always do every week. We'll see. Matt knows who Blyberg is. I guess Blyberg did inks on Astro City. Very cool. Let's see. I'm missing the chat so much tonight. I'm glad everybody in the chat's having a good time though, because I really haven't been paying enough attention to it tonight. But so we've got the EXP preview up now. Nick's got his show tomorrow at 7:00, and he's got it on YouTube and all the other fun places, Facebook, Twitch, you name it. And we've 5 likes to 70. All right, that's good to know, Nick. Keep rallying the troops for the thumbs up. We're still at 95 people watching right now. This is fun. But yeah, so we got the EXP preview for everybody, and I edited this and I didn't even get a chance to watch it. So I'm going to be learning what Nick's got to offer tomorrow along with the rest of you. So here we go.
Hey everybody, this Friday, January 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, on the Original Art Experience, we're going to have original art. Now, Amy's here shooting the promo, so that means I can be goofy, I can do whatever I want. Alex is in, she's making a funny face. So, all right, this Friday, we got some really exciting art like we do every week. I got a nice little twist at the end here. So, we got, for the first time ever, Mike Plug art. And this is the Spirit Mike Plug art. Commissioner Dolan. Got an Avengers cover by Ed McGuinness, and this is kind of funny because you got Mephisto, and this was coming out around the time Vision and Scarlet Witch TV show was there. A great Marvel TV series, I may add. And people thought it was Mephisto, but it was Agatha all along. Then I have this Neil Adams awesome Dracula piece. God, that's gorgeous. Then I have Spawn, The Dark Ages by Liam Sharp. This has been like Kenny. Is it Kenny on South Park who like dies? Except for it's the opposite. He never shows up. Then we've got a Jay Lee Red Sonja Tarzan cover. Check out how awesome that is. We have a Ale Garza Witchblade Red Sonja cover. We've got a Roberto Castro Sheena cover. I've got this fantastic Ghost Rider. Check it out. Oh, God, this is gorgeous. 2 Ghost Riders, the original, Johnny Blaze. Oh, I can't believe I'm letting this go. An Invaders by Chick Stone and Bill Black. Oh, this is gorgeous. God. Then we got one more Carlos Pacheco page. We've got Rogue. We've got more. Then we're going to do a little bit of Polar. This is polarizing. We've got World's Finest 279 Major Disaster. God, I can't remember the captain's name. Jesus. I can't remember. Amy will make sure I remember by Friday. Then we have Keith Pollard, Joe Sinnott, Fantastic Four. You've got Doctor Doom. You've got The Thing. You've got Crystal, The Inhumans, X Factor. Why am I putting this on the air? Black Panther? Oh my. I shouldn't put that on the air. Then I've got thanks to Paul Pappas, it made me realize I've never put a Marie Severin page on the air, I don't think. This is Marie Severin Pencils and Inks. You've got the Muppet Babies. We're also going to have the Splash. And I don't know. What do you think? Should I do all the pages, Amy? What do you think? We got a piano player. This is pretty cool, right? Paul Pappas was the inspiration for this. Tell you what, Amy's questioning it. I'm just going to sell the whole issue, all right? I'm going to sell the entire issue, all Marie Severin. If this sells, I really am going to cry. This is definitely one I shouldn't be putting on the air. I mean, come on. They're all homaging Michael Jackson here on multiple outfits. God. Piano Man. So maybe I shouldn't hit it that hard. So, this Friday, January 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern. 7
yes,
p.m.
7.
Yes, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on the Original Art
We're not
Experience.
missing anything, right? I'm just looking over everything you told me to write down. We're not missing anything, right?
What do you mean? Do you think like maybe I forgot to give you stuff that we got to add to it?
You always like to add stuff last minute to drive me crazy, so I thought I'd ask now.
I don't do it to drive you crazy. That just happens to be a byproduct of me being last minute. Oh my God, you should see the look on her face. If looks could kill. So anyway, before I get killed, I'm going to stop talking while I'm ahead, or at least not too far behind. Hit that thumbs up, share, sharing is caring. Looking forward to seeing you on Friday, and Happy New Year, everybody.
All right. Happy New Year to Nick. Keep rallying those likes for us, Nick. 97 people still watching the show. All right. So we've got our picks. Well, no, we don't have picks yet. I got to go to the calf update. I'm so out of sync after last week where I did it so easy. It was so weird being done in like an hour and 10 minutes last week. It felt good though.
I sure it did.
But all right, so we can dive into the calf update here. What do we got? Dealer results. I guess we missed a big week last week for dealers. They had like 461,000 the week before, where I didn't report on it. They had 312 this week. So top sellers were Remuda Man, 144,000 in sales. Felix Comic Art at 114,000 in sales. Anthony had 18,000, and then Will had just under 10, as did Scott Eater. I saw that email, Felix Comic Art. Now, I have not done year-end numbers, but I saw that Felix was the #1 seller that we track, and I did look at it. I actually looked. He had like 2.8 million in sales, or it was probably like 2. Well, whatever. He had, say he had 2.8. Berkey had like 2.7, and then I checked the other big ones like Albert and Anthony, and those are pretty much the biggest ones. So if he beats out those, Albert or Mike, then he did it. So congrats to Felix. If there was a trophy for number, highest seller of the year, it's the first time a rep has probably ever had that, in the history of anything that we've tracked before. So
you could tell from the email that he was very happy.
Oh yeah. Well, it's, it's important. I think he's talked about it a lot, getting good prices for artists, and I think he added a few artists in over the years. So it's, you get more artists, you're able to do more art drops, and with the value of the art still going up and not really faltering. I mean, that's a positive sign. I think again, it goes back to the hobby. Is the hobby, is it growing, stable, whatever? I mean, I bet if we looked year over year for at least like a couple of those people like Albert, Mike, and Felix, I bet their numbers are probably comparable. I bet they didn't go down from the year before. But I should probably maybe I should do a year-end report. It's not going to happen until after OAX, but be curious to look at that data and see exactly how all that fits together. But anyway, so good. The average week for dealers this past week. Let me show you the top 6 sales from dealers. What we got here. So again, total sales was just at 312,000. So first up, we have a Bernie Wrightson. See, that's why I can never afford one of these. This one went for $30,000. This is from Swamp Thing 4, page 8. Swamp Thing watches as a man gets killed by a werewolf from 1972. I can't afford that. Coda. This is by Bergara. This is Coda False Dawns. It's listed as a page cover 14,000. I mean, I don't know. Is that an average price, or do you think that was the whole book? I'm not sure on that one. But then I do have a Jack Kirby, Frank Giacoya, Fantastic Four 93 splash. This is from 1969, sold for $13,000. We've got yeah, look at this. Daniel Warren Johnson. Look at it. I mean, he is using his arm as a weapon. So this was $10,000 DPS from Transformers 3 by Daniel Warren Johnson. Then we have cover Daniel Warren Johnson. I know that this one went for 10. This is the cover to issue 3. And then finally we have Mr. Miracle Splash. This one, this was an old one. I mean, yeah, because Mike notes it was sold on Dueling Dealers. It sold. I don't even remember us having this. So this went for $9,800, which seems kind of fair for the piece. So I don't know. That must have been one of the first, like in year 1 of Dueling Dealers. Maybe somebody finally paid it off. I don't know, but I don't remember that piece at all. Auction house results. I don't know what happened the week before last, but there were 782,000 in sales for that week. So there must have been some illustration auction or something getting supplemented in there by Heritage. But this past week it was only 239, which makes sense. It's between Christmas and New Year's, and because this is the 25th through the 31st we're talking about here. So typically everybody doesn't have a good week, but 239 is about what I expect there. eBay had 126 and Heritage had 112. So we'll take a look at the top 3 from eBay and the top 3 from Heritage. So and the first 2 here from eBay, we're actually at make offers, so that's a little less. This was like a jam piece that has Perez, Layton, even Jim Shooter on it. I see Sean Chen and Marcus's favorite Sean Chen on there. They it was listed at 8,000, but sold for a make offer of 3. And this one also went for a make offer drastically. This is the Tyler Kirkham Blue Beetle cover, issue 11, listed at 4,500, but was sold with a make offer for $1,625. And finally, this Ward Kimball Jiminy Cricket color drawing. This one did sell for $2,999, all on eBay. So 3 heritage pieces, all accurate prices for these, of course. This is Enrico Bagnoli, and this is from Planet Comics 51, a 6-page complete story, $6,600. A bit of nudity in there. You had to pass the adult filter to see these, with the topless lady in them. Then you had a Sal Buscema Incredible Hulk page from 256. This one went for 4,560. And last, we've got a Uncanny X-Men 532 cover by Greg Land. Greg Land will be at OAX, everybody. This one went for $3,960. I think from just conversations with him, I think he's doing a 2-character commission piece for the auction. And if he does the characters I asked for, it'll be a desirable cover.
Not Cyclops.
Okay, commission piece, not a cover. It's not a cover. It'll be commission piece.
Not Cyclops.
Not Cyclops. No, not at all.
Not Aquaman.
No. I was emailing with his wife, and she said, "Oh yeah, if he did those are the characters he gets asked for a lot." I'm like, well, I kind of figured. So yeah, I figured I might as well ask for pieces that I wouldn't mind bidding on too.
Yeah.
Because while I'll be there as support for Nick and Jimmy during that, I do intend to bid on some of the pieces myself. So because I'm going to make Ashton work. You know, he can run the slide thing, and Jimmy and Nick can do their thing up on stage. And yeah, I'll be around, but I'm planning on bidding on a couple things.
You'll be the man with the paddle.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's very, very true. All right. So what do we got here? So that's pretty much it. So we can dive into the popular artworks now. And let's see here. Let me get your 10 picks. And the thing is, it was a difficult week because everybody posts a lot of great stuff in the last week to get it in there for the best ofs, you know? So it's a tough week all around for doing something like this, because a lot, I don't know what the counts were, but the artwork added in the last 10 days to CAF. That was partially why I mentioned we had a bandwidth, and overage charges, because there was just that much extra art being posted.
It went on and on and on and on. And like, honestly, I probably could have picked 10 pieces out of like a day last week. It was like that.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. Pop Sequentialism says, Greg Land, is he bringing a stack of Hustler for reference? The thing is, I've watched him draw at shows that he does not look at any reference when he draws these things. And they are, so either he just has a photographic memory, or that's just how he draws. I mean, who knows where he got to start. We've seen all the examples out there. But again, I've watched him draw at shows, and he's just sitting there. I've seen him like sketching. He's kind of, the times I've seen him, he's like kind of standing up with a leg on a chair, and he's drawing on his knee. And
he can draw. I mean, anybody who thinks he can't draw is a maniac.
I know, but maybe he's used Hustler for reference in the past, because he can. Sure. He's got the right poses, man. I mean, and he
maybe is, Alex Ross used Saturday Evening Post.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, to each their own. But let's see here. All right, so picks of the week. Let's go over to Chris here. Let's see, get this over here, make it easier for me. There we go. So Paul Smith DPS to get things started off here.
So while I know that most people in the chat are big fans of Paul Smith on X-Men, this is my Paul Smith book. And funny you just brought up Matt Kennedy, because when I saw this piece go up on CAF, I immediately messaged the owner and said, how did you find this? Where did you find this? Because I've been looking for Paul Smith art from the Golden Age basically ever since it came out, and I've never found a single page. Mm-hmm. And this guy has an incredible DPS that he got from Matt Kennedy, or Matt Kennedy was involved or whatever. Anyway, Matt Kennedy, if you ever see another page from this book, holler at your boy.
You don't see too many pages from this thing either.
You don't, no.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love this DPS. I mean, I'm a big Golden Age DC character fan, so the fact that, you know, the subject matter is a given, but I just the storytelling on this is absolutely masterful. Like what's happening on the page, you know, Our Man is basically, you know, the kind of insidious element that they added to Miraclo during this is that it's, you know, yes, it's a drug, but it's a drug, right? So he's kind of experiencing these hallucinations and he's concerned about what's happening to him. And he just, the horror that he's, and, you know, slash kind of like being out of his mind that he managed to capture on Our Man's face there is so incredible. And like to work all of the captions into this, all of the dialogue, and there's actually a cool I think a complaint by Paul Smith on in one of the margins about somebody moving one of the captions and it covered some of the art. So that was kind of a cool little like behind the scenes thing. But I can't say enough good things about this. It's enthralling to me.
It is very beautiful, and I had missed this piece when it got added to CAF, so I'm glad you pulled it out and saved it. Yeah, no, it's really, really, really gorgeous. That's cool. I saw Matt mention it was from his first Pop Sequentialism exhibit. So Robert Myers in the chat. I got my like on this one for you. That's fantastic.
Thank you for replying to me, Robert.
Yeah, this is what, but yeah, so the call's been put out there, everybody. If you ever see one of these pages or you have one available, talk to Mr. Chris. He will. He wants to get one for himself. So congrats, Robert. So let's see. Next up,
I don't even care if it's got Hitler on it, and some of them do.
What do we got? We got a Tony Parker X-Men piece. So what is this? Is this just like a pinup of some kind, like a commission piece?
I think it's a commission.
Interesting. Wow, that's a lot of work for a commission. Wow,
isn't it?
That's crazy. Wow. Darn.
Somebody said in the comments it's like Tony's auditioning to be the next X-Men artist, and I agree. I mean, this thing is just rich. Like everybody's on there. Everybody's in like a very characterful, you know, moment or pose, or, you know, like Colossus is doing what Colossus does, Cable's doing what Cable does. I mean, he's just nailed you know, kind of every individual element and still managed to really make it work as a cool piece. And like, who would think to make Wolverine like a super graphic element, like covering 3/4 of the page like that? That is just really clever and really well done.
Exactly. Well, it's get that shot of his adamantium skull,
right?
I mean, that's but why not, right? And it works. It really works. I mean, that's fantastic. Hey, and look, Cyclops even looks badass in this thing.
He does.
Yeah, they could have pushed him towards the back, but no. They brought him up. Too much Cyclops, says Marcus. Yeah, all right, Marcus.
It's anyway, a Cyclops heavy piece.
And it's in the Galacton CAF gallery. But yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, you're right. When
Larry added so much art.
Yes, yeah. An embarrassment of riches for Larry, but you know, we love him. Yeah, but yeah, this is a really fantastic piece. Wow. I hope we got a few comments on it. Only 2 comments so far. How's that possible?
Oh, wow. Well, maybe that'll change.
Well, and one of them was from you. Yeah. Well, gosh. Well, maybe there was just too much art and too many people enjoying their, you know, the holiday and everything. So get in there and lay some comments on this piece for sure. Then let's see. What do we got? We have a Ben Oliver Rocketeer piece. This is really well done.
Yeah, Ben Oliver like never ceases to kind of blow me away. This one definitely has like a hardcore like Travis vibe to it. The pose, the, you know, kind of everything about it. But I just love how Ben Oliver does what he does. And unfortunately, so many times it's just a bust, or it's just a head, or it's just a face, or, you know, whatever. So to see him like, it's a full figure, it's got a background element. You know, he's not shy, like kind of hiding the technique in a way that he used to produce the piece, because he did all this, you know, the bleed, the overspray, all that kind of stuff is left intact, which I think is a really cool element of the piece in a way. But I just think like this is so like masterfully executed from a technique standpoint that it's just hard to ignore.
Yeah, no, agreed. It's very well done. The composition's great. And I see the reference you mean to, you gave to like Travis, because he kind of like gets those classic poses and things. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's very nice. A lot of subtle stuff going on in there in the way it's been
Definitely.
painted. And who was the owner of this one? Oh, Byron. Okay, sweet. I was gonna say almost ready to celebrate. Well, they just celebrated an anniversary on CAF, 17 years. Fantastic. Let's see. So Art Adams. So yeah, it's hard to skip an Art Adams piece. You
It
always
is.
have to look at it, even if you're not going to pick it for the weekly stuff. But yeah, this
Yeah.
is a really nice monster piece.
Well, and if I'm being honest, it's kind of I'm not going to say it's a mess because it's Arthur Adams, but there is a lot happening on this page. But when you take in the fact that like what the subject matter is, it's all excusable, right? Like he's going to go ape shit drawing big monsters like he always does. And like, that's what we're all here for. So the fact that it's also Hellboy, certainly adds a cool factor to it. But like, this is just, I picked this because this is what, basically Art Adams unleashed.
Yeah, it's funny. When I first saw it, I didn't even see the praying mantis. I don't know why. I was so focused on Hellboy and the giant lizard in front of him, and I didn't even see it. It's funny. I mean, I looked at this piece twice earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even notice it, but now yeah, I'm sure when it was colored, it was you couldn't miss it. But yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I have I love his work. Tariq, fantastic, nice addition right there on the last day of the year. So yeah, like you saw, lots of great artwork added to CAF last week.
And there were so many softballs. I mean, like just okay, heavy hitter, heavy hitter, heavy hitter. Yeah.
Epiphany 22. Okay, this is Wonder. What else? What was it from? DC Crimes of Passion 1, a retailer variant cover. Philip Tan. Yeah, this is man. Composition is fantastic on this piece, and Phillips. It's the work in the clothing. I mean, this thing is just really
the textures
beautiful.
And like Philip Tan just has such a way of doing such wild things, but that like read perfectly. And it's almost like I don't know, it's almost like a puzzle for your eyes, but you know exactly what you're looking at, but you can like dive into, the texture on the sleeve, the texture on the glove, all that kind of stuff is so meticulous in a way, but it still comes off as being so energetic.
Yeah, I completely agree. This is really nice. Huh. I love it.
I'm not even a Renee Montoya question fan. I'm a Vic Sage question fan, diehard, but this was so good. It's so good on so many levels.
Nope, I'm not going to argue with you on that. Yeah, I love it. And let's see how many. Only no comments on this piece. Okay, we've got some work to do, ladies and gentlemen, to get some comments on these pieces. I know we all had the holidays going on, and so we did miss a lot. But yeah, you should like dive back into CAF a little bit, look at those pieces added in the last week, and lay down some comments. Let's see here. Next piece, Uncanny Avengers variant cover by Corey Smith.
I really like Corey Smith. I think he's clean, but he's fun. He, can do almost anything subject wise. I think, he's really versatile as an artist. Like the type of book you put him on, like kind of doesn't matter. But I think the thing I like the best about this is just the composition. Like Deadpool, making that V with the guns coming up from the bottom, which like highlights Captain America, is so cool. And then you've just got like, I think it's Rogue, right? Flying overhead. Yeah. I mean, it's simple, it's effective, but like this is just a great superhero team book cover.
Yeah, no, agreed. I love the composition of it when I first saw it. I just think that, the way he uses Deadpool here to kind of frame Cap, and yeah, I mean, it's a well designed cover here. And is it Alberto's? I saw Alberto say something in the chat. Let's see. Yes, it is. You always know it's Alberto when you see the cap shield. Yeah, nice pickup, Alberto. This is great. And I love it's stark too. You know, I mean, it's kind of like that Yates piece where they're not working with midtones too much here. Just going in with some strong blacks. I like it. Let's see. Next up, a color piece by Chris Stevens from Spawn 343.
I wish so badly that he did more published work, because like if this is the kind of stuff that he's going to do for a cover, like who doesn't want to pick this book up? I know I've said this a million times, like I do not care about Spawn, but like some of the artists that are working on that book in the last couple of years, it's just a murderer's row. And Stevens is definitely one of them. I think he's this palette is just unbelievable to me. Like Spawn is black and red, right? Well, there's no black or red on this entire thing. Basically, you've got shades of green. So like the lighting is absolutely incredible. Like when you have to like work out as an artist how you're going to like map all these colors and things like that, it's mind-boggling to me how you come up with this all in green essentially.
Right. Yeah, that was the thing that makes this thing beautiful for me too. I'm not a Spawn fan either, but I'm a Chris Stevens fan. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I always have been. It's going to be cool I've never met him before, and he's going to be at OAX too. I hope they have a few of his originals with him, that we can look at that are that are this kind of caliber. Mm-hmm. I would just love to see him, because I've seen like some of his earlier commission pieces that maybe passed through Mike's hands here or there, but I've never seen one of these really heavily detailed pieces. And I'm just curious. They have to be even more, well, obviously they're going to be more spectacular in person, but
oh yeah,
I just can't even imagine. So he's like one of those.
The way that he like pushes the background, into the back as it's meant to be. And like, just the layering on this is an achievement unto itself. I just marvel at this.
Agreed. Yeah, this is it's fantastic. So Eric says the most recent piece he posted on Instagram, and he's bringing to OAX. Well, I'll have to check that out. I do follow him on Instagram. I just don't go over there too often, but I'll check it out. Well, congrats to Jason G for adding this one. Yeah, it's funny, the highlight color being a hot lime green practically is fun. So, but you see a lot of color play in Chris's stuff. That makes it very interesting. Let's see here. We got 3 more to go. You got a Mobius Jean Girard piece from Blueberry, which we don't see too many of these on CAF.
We don't, and unfortunately, this is not a great scan, but I couldn't not feature it because, in spite of Mobius's like incredible body of work, this is my favorite stuff that he did. Is Blueberry, and to see this thing, to see a really nice scan of this thing would be a real treat, because there's so much happening in every single one of these panels.
Yeah, I thought the scan was funny too. I mean, I don't even know what the heck they did to make it. It's because it's pixelated,
blurry, right?
Right, and it's large. I mean, it's almost like they just enlarged a small scan. I couldn't figure it out. I thought about emailing them when I saw it, and then I was like, whatever. So Sam06, if you can get a better scan of this one, we would all love to see that. Did you email him?
I asked him for one, and he said I think he's from France or Italy. I'm not entirely
France,
sure. Yeah. He said, I send you a better scan. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that, I didn't want to like go back and forth and be like, actually just update it and whatever. But he didn't come through with an additional scan. So hopefully, Sam, if you're watching this, update that scan, because I really want to pour over this piece.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. I'd love to see this one in person too. And only 2 comments on this. Yeah, everything we're looking at, low comment counts, everybody.
On a Mobius.
I know. How is that possible? All right, we got 2 more here. It's always funny. We one of us is always picking a war page. Whether it's Russ Heath or not. But again, this is I love this one, and it's probably I bet it's the same reason as you. I love all the the sound effects throughout this whole page just is
The
what
gunfire. Honestly, I think the thing I like the best about it, so the panel 2, the like silhouette, like detailed silhouette of those two guys is amazing. But honestly, it's the 3 storytelling beats at the bottom with the tank.
Yeah.
Like it's rolling forward, the gun is leveling up, it fires. Like those 3 panels is such a distinct, and like you said, the sound effects accompanying each one, you know exactly what's happening. That's just like, it's very cinematic.
Yeah, I mean, when you see this, it makes you, it gives you a feeling of being there. I mean, and it's partially because of the sound effects. It makes you think what war is like. But when I was looking at this piece, because I always build the intro slide from the pieces we pick for the, for the show, I gravitated right to the bottom, those bottom 3 panels, because it's just it's so well drawn, and it's funny because they're like abstract shapes at the end of the day. But I and I love the whole piece of art, but yeah, I thought those 3 bottom panels are just really, really wonderful.
Yeah, Margaret just said too, the detail on that tank tread, like it's so perfectly rendered. It's like he, like lightboxed the photo.
Yeah, and maybe he did. You never know. Who knows? I mean, he could have, but that's okay. At the end of the day, to get a piece of art like this, it's well worth it. And again, I'm still looking for a Russ Heath War page. And again, this is a page I would love to own. I would be
this is a honey of a page.
Yep. Now this last one, I know we do not have enough Ed Piskor art on CAF, and I know it's your favorite character, but this is awesome. I did not see this until you sent me your pics. I think this thing is fantastic.
This was a softball for me personally. I couldn't not pick it. The homage is awesome. Like the facial expression is, is very reminiscent of the initial, piece. We don't typically see like a sinister grin on the thing. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, I mean, this is, for a lot of people, like grand design is like a huge thing. Like this is a really like big, Dan T, I know, for example, is a huge Piskor fan. So, yeah, I couldn't not pick this.
I thought it was yours when I first saw it. I was like, did you get this? Because I love Piskor stuff, and you just don't see anything out there. It makes me want to see him do more takes on on characters of this stature, in comics. I think it'd be fun. That's a lot of teeth on that thing. I agree with you on that one, Chuck. But yeah, I think this is an awesome piece. Very cool to see. So let's see here. All right, we'll switch over to my picks now. But yeah, that's a good one. That's really cool. Let's see here. Hide yours and then switch over to mine.
I'm really curious what you picked this week because
it was tough.
It was nuts.
Yeah, there was too many. I mean, yeah, everybody had great stuff. I mean, there isn't one collector probably in the chat that didn't post something that was, and it had to be overlooked. Let's see here. Share that screen. There we go. So, early on, I had this piece like just stood out for me because I love Adam stuff, obviously. So I couldn't pass it up as a show graphic and covered a Catwoman. It's just fun. And this one, he always seems to try different things, and this one, so this is from 2007. And, the cross hatching stuff here isn't something that we'd see him do a lot of. And I just thought it was great. I love the way he's using the cross hatching here to handle the light on the corner of her elbow and this, in her costume, the lighting there. And then I even like this, his choice just to put these heavy block of coloring in with, I don't know, it's probably from Copic markers or something, but where it just highlights the bike and her, even more. I just like this piece a lot all around. I mean,
well, I think what is so cool about this is like, this to me is an illustration of like why Adam Hughes is like an artist's artist, right? Like he's stretching on this. He's doing stuff like, because the hatching, I very much feel like he was like, well, like, yeah, I'll do that. You know what I mean? Like it's a deliberate choice. It's a stylistic choice. It's an effective choice. And like the thing that blows me probably away the most about this is like this piece kind of vacillates in part between like photorealism and abstraction, and it's all on the same page. Like if you look at the tire on the motorcycle, that's like a photo of a tire.
It is.
You know what I
You're
mean?
right.
Like the brake rotor, the suspension, like that all looks very, very real right in the foreground. And then like if you go to the background, like you said, it's just blocks of tone.
Mm-hmm.
And like they kind of suggest a background, like what you're looking at, but it's not important.
Right. Yeah, no, this is beautiful. I'm hoping we get to see the commissions that he took at the show. I'd be very curious to see how those turned out. But yeah, now whose is this? I didn't even look at the owners for any of these pieces today. So, Bill J. Wow. Bill's obviously got a great eye, great collection, and another wonderful piece added to his collection. Bill won't be at OAX, unfortunately. He was almost, I think he had picked up a ticket and then ended up having to cancel. But yeah, that would have been. But I did hear a very noteworthy collector is coming now that I had talked to earlier in the year, and they weren't coming, and now they are. So that's going to be really cool. Somebody I've never met.
Bill, I'm not noteworthy.
I
will be there though.
You will be there. Well, hey, everybody who's coming who've never met you, they all feel like they know you already, Chris. I mean, we've only been doing this for a few years now. So
has it been 2 years?
Oh my God, it's been longer than that. I feel
tonight.
Like I don't know. What if we'd have to check and see when we first started doing these, but it's been a long time. Time flies, man. It doesn't even, in a weird way, it doesn't even feel like a year, but I know we've been doing these for, it's got to be at least 2 years.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah. we forced you, Chris, upon you. But it was well worth it. And then, hey, look at this. I've got a piece from Khalil's collection, right? I'm pretty sure I don't want to say that wrong, right? No, this was Khalil's. All right. So I get my like on this one. David Finch. I did not pick this because David's coming to OAX, but this is just a great Wolverine page. I mean, when I think of Finch, I mean, he draws a badass Wolverine, and I really love the play between the characters that he's fighting with, the shapes that that the characters make together, and Wolverine just pretty much slicing through them. Like the first 3 panels are just wonderfully done and leading you to this piece for this guy. I don't know, is he thinking, oh shit, because Wolverine just like sliced through all these guys without getting near a scratch on him, and but there's still this just massive writhing figures and stuff. Yeah, it's so damn good, and the poses are almost like always at the extreme. I mean, look at this one; he's got his arms like behind him, getting ready to to slice forward. I mean, this is fantastic, and Finch is great with anatomy. I mean, I would be so happy to own this page. It's just there's nothing wrong with it. It's so well done. I mean, and the way he's playing with the way that the costumes on the ninjas, so the wraps around their arms. I mean, that just makes such a visual image that just helps carry us through panel to panel. It's funny, it does, and I mean, doggone.
I think what's so cool about this is you're following Wolverine panel to panel as he's like mulching these ninjas on panel 1 and panel 2, and then panel 3 he changes the camera angle. You're behind him. He introduces the new character, right? The guy that he's really after, and then they show it from his point of view. Like that's just awesome storytelling.
It definitely is. Sorry about my language, Alberto. Best part, no Cyclops, says Marcus. All right,
he's there in spirit.
He is.
With every mutant.
He taught him everything. He taught Wolverine everything he knew.
That explodes.
Yeah. So let's see here. Now, I see again. I don't know who was this from. Oh, Paul P. Okay, Paul P's Calf Gallery. Paul. I love checking out Paul's Calf Gallery because he's always like he's getting classic stuff. He's getting newer stuff. I mean, this is a John Byrne pencil, Bob Layton, historic piece from Marvel Premiere. It's from 1979, first Scott Lang in costume. I just kind of got it for that. And I know Byrne never, doesn't speak highly of Layton's inks on his stuff, but at the end of the day, I as a kid reading comics back then, I always enjoyed when they worked together because I like Layton's work on his own. I like John's work with Austin and on his own. And so when they worked together, I enjoyed it too. And so when I saw this page, I was like, it's cool. And I mean, look at this last panel here. I mean, it's perfect. It's got Zipatone on it. It's
It's also
compositionally.
clearly Byrne. That
Yeah.
last panel was like clearly John Byrne.
Exactly. So, Leighton, it has maybe these earlier panels maybe look a little bit, more like him. But yeah, you're right. These really the last two panels, but still great stuff. Classic page and in the right guy's collection. Paul, congrats, man. This is great. Same period, same time period as X-Men 120. Yeah, that's true. So congrats on that one. Paul scores another good one. Then this is in Jim Warden's calf gallery, a Neil Adams Superman cover. I wish the scan had a little more contrast, but maybe the art, this really is a good representation of it. Lots of Zipatone in there for the underwater part of it. I just thought it was pretty cool because, it's in Jim Warden's calf gallery. Obviously we all know Jim. Incredibly nice guy. He has a great collection. Works with John Byrne, right? He works with Matt Wagner and a few others, and so it's always cool to see something like this pop into somebody's calf gallery. Because he and I emailed over the holiday, and he was really. It's funny. He added this piece to his calf, but he was talking to me about adding this a Wally Wood EC page, which was far more. He was more excited about that. And while I was looking at the EC pages, when I saw this one, I was like, I kind of like this one a lot. I mean, a really cool Neil Adams Superman cover, just different stuff. I mean, it's still back to the goofy DC stuff, but yeah. I thought it was awesome. And again, seeing it in Jim's calf gallery made me like it all the more.
I really like the Dutch camera angle on it. It just adds a ton of gives him space to fully render the entire figure of Superman. It's just a great choice.
Yeah. JD Dunn, is Jim coming? Oh, Jim Warden will be at OAX. I'm sorry. Yeah,
cool.
He will be there. He'll be set up and working with Matt Wagner, and looking forward to it. I mean, if you haven't met him before, he's got a lot of great stories. He's easy to talk to. He's a really nice guy. I mean, you've met him. I mean, we've done an interview with him here, but he's just he's a great guy, and I can see why guys like Byrne and Wagner like working with him, because I think he's retired now too. I don't think he's working for the Man anymore.
Probably the second best Mike Zeck collection in the hobby.
Hard to argue that fact. That's true. Very true.
I mean, there's a clear number one.
Yeah. You can't. That's. Now here, I picked the Danny Warren Johnson. I always like to. I've been avoiding picking DWJ stuff from the picks, but I just like this one as a. I don't know. There's something about the energy in it that and maybe it's because it's mostly ships and not characters. I made me decide I got to go with it because it's just funny that his approach to realism is just not realistic, but it just love the dynamic work he puts into these pieces.
It doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't. It doesn't matter what he's drawing. He could be drawing a wrestler, doing a power bomb, or he drawing Star Wars ships like he is here, with a shattering Death Star, and it's all the same. I mean, as works of art, they're just phenomenal. And,
for a hot second, I actually thought Daniel Warren Johnson on Transformers, because it's so over the top and everything's moving and crazy line weights and all that kind of stuff. And then I thought no, it'll be great. And it is.
Yeah. No, and it really is. I mean, the more I'm looking at this piece, I love it. I'd love to see this thing in person. And again, he has just a flair with the Zipatone. I mean, it just all works. So who's Kafka? Oh, Steve M. All right. Great piece added to their calf. And then I picked this. I mean, we were looking at that Frank Thorne art from Anthony the other night, and those were from Savage Sword of Conan. So this is actually from Red Sonja 3 as a splash page. I just love Thorne's artwork, and I love anything that the hand drawn lettering. From that period, that's back. This is the era when Conan was the #1 most popular comic character out there, and you have guys like Thorne that really enjoyed getting in there and mixing it up with characters like that, as and throwing their creative spin on stuff. And I've always said I want to get a good Red Sonja page from that era. I mean, this is a great example as a title page. It's just it's fun on many levels. Even the idea, sorry, there's a guy, in chains pulling this guy on a rickshaw, but it's still, I still love it. I think it's awesome. And let's see. Oh, Neber Adlin. See, that's just no. Has anybody seen Neber Adlin's name on cap? They've been a member for almost 15 years.
Wow.
And they're from Spain. I mean, that's just so funny. I mean, that's a name that would stand out, I would think. And I feel like, did they just start adding art? I got to see. They're going to probably have a gallery full of 100 pieces, right? Okay, no, they don't. Good. They have 20, like less than 30 pieces in their calf. And
Is that a Gabriel Walta Daredevil cover?
Walta Barbalian, #1.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Daredevil on the cover.
But you got the artist.
Okay, I know this cover.
Yeah, Gabriel Walta. That's a name I'm not familiar with.
He did that Vision miniseries
with
Tom King.
Yep. Nope. Now I know. Yep, definitely. Cool. Well, it's nice to meet. And it's. What is it? You can see he's got his name up here, Ruben. So he's done his name backwards over here. Never. So maybe we've seen the name before, and he's just playing. He's playing around with us now. But anyways, very nice piece here. I like this Red Sonja a lot. The like on that one. Then Jose Gonzalez. I don't know what this is. A woman called Mamba. I don't know, but he just draws beautiful women. I mean,
oh yeah.
For me, it's like there's a few guys out there who might draw a more beautiful lady, but just sensual. I mean, just how from the way he draws.
That is
exactly. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, I love this piece. Weird place for him to sign it, I guess. Seeing it right there. But other than that, I mean, he's just amazing. I love this piece a lot. But I have no idea. A woman called Mamba. I mean, what is that from? God only knows.
It's Kobe Bryant's mom.
Exactly. Did you read that email that Albert wrote?
Yeah, his son clearly wrote. Yeah,
exactly. I want to see. You know what? I want to hear Albert reading. And that's what we need to do. Every time his son writes an email, I need to get Albert in a recording studio, and we have Albert read it.
A dramatic reading.
Dramatic reading of his son's writing his words for him. Because I don't think Albert could get from beginning to end of it and say, "This is nuts," or some sarcastic comment that, "Why does my son put these words in my mouth?" Yeah. At any rate, I thought that was so funny. But the thing is, it makes me read it because I try to think about Albert saying those words, and it just makes me laugh. Marcus says that's how he recited it.
Right.
It's full on. There's no way
he dictated it.
He may give him like a topic or a theme, but there's no
I don't
way.
even think so.
I don't think Albert has anything to do with those emails. But anyways, so great piece here. Love it. I got 3 more to show off. Here was a Delato Batman variant cover. I mean, his colors were always fantastic, and I just love the you can't even call them motion lines. There's so much action and pace in this piece that he's done just with color, and most of it's happening in the background, but he does just enough of it in the musculature and the costume to give us that feel too. And the blood adds a lot of fun to it. You wonder who he's beating the crap out of. But I love the composition in this thing. It's literally at a 45-degree angle, and man, it's just awesome. And
yeah, the implication of movement, like by the lack of detail, is so subtle, but it's so effective. Like the fact that like the spikes or whatever, the blades on his arm are not as tightly rendered as the gauntlet as the arm itself, like makes your eye feel like his fist is moving.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Like number one Marvel fan, the blue choice is just, it's really, it's, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, Delato's, somebody whose work I really admire. I mean, and there's a lot of great painters in comics today, and Granov obviously is one of I'm a huge fan of his stuff, and Simone Bianchi, of course. But yeah, we're kind of blessed to have so many really fantastic painters working in comics today. Let's see, two more. I think this was kind of a fun pick. This was Irv Novick, Tex Blaisdell. I mean, I know I've seen Tex's name before as an inker, but see, this was the Joker from '76 versus Sherlock Holmes of all things.
Sure.
It's back to, I really like the fact that it's black or it's white. I mean, there's something about the composition of this. I love Novik's approach to drawing the Joker in here, as pretty much as a straight up caricature. It's just really, really fun for the period. And then I like the art throughout it. I mean, it's weird and campy. And again, you'll never see Sherlock Holmes, in a Daredevil book, but you can get him in a DC book, with the Joker. So, again, it's why I overlook these kind of stories and pages and artwork early on because of that. But I like coming across these and just being like, damn, I really like the art in this. And,
maybe you'll have a DC renaissance in your later years, Bill.
It is possible. It is possible. I mean, I won't rule it out. But again, I see this and I like it. It does make, I would like to read this book. And I have to say, I've actually, when I was in Ohio, what did I pick up? Something's Killing the Children. I've read that, so I thought, it's weird, and I'm enjoying it, but I think it's too slow. And I want, and I don't read a lot of modern comics, of course, as everybody knows. And I'm reading through it. It's almost like it's written for television to be like a serial, and I wonder, if that, because to me, it's like, I feel like, wow, they could have left some things out, or the pace could be done differently. Because a lot of the storytelling is done purposefully in DPSs where it could be done in single panel. I hate to go off on a tangent here, but but I'm enjoying the read, but I feel like, boy, I could have, done it. It could have been, the pace could be different, but it's almost, but as I'm reading, I'm like, boy, this is like watching The Walking Dead. It's like it's written for a season 1. It's like I'm on chapter 18, and it's like, gosh, if this was 18 books, I don't know if I could have lasted like $4 a book to get to this point where when I bought the trades, because it would just be too slow as a pace.
That's actually the criticism that I've heard, and I guess kind of felt myself. Like I haven't picked up books like from the comic store in quite a while now, but it does start to that, Chuck just said what I was about to say, which is the decompression, and some of it is, deliberate in order to sell trades, because more people are reading trades than are reading monthlies. And, it's an unfortunate like side effect of kind of the business of comics, I think, but it makes those monthly comics really, I don't know, flat.
Right. I mean, if I wasn't reading this thing in trades, I would have given up early. So I'm glad I kind of waited to buy 6 trades, right? And I think I'm on the last book right now. But that was the thing I realized, like on book 3, I'm like, gosh, this is just, it's too slow. If I was reading them, one at a time, I would have dropped it a long time ago. But being able to get to the meat of the story, like by the 3rd trade, which is really like books 10 through 12 or something. Right. I don't know if I would have made it that far, because once I got to the 3rd book, where you get like part of more of the origin of things, like why we're here, it's like, all right, I like the story now. At any rate, get one more page to look at here for me. What do we got? Oh, that's right. This is from Schacter. I know Jason's a big X-Men fan, and so I saw this piece in there, and I mean, holy smokes, man! I mean, I didn't even look at this. Is one of my new favorites. Well, I'd like to think it would be one of your new favorites. I mean, Philip Tannis is freaking awesome.
I knew you were going to pick this. There was no question in my mind.
I felt like, Jason probably had some drool kind of coming out of the corner of his mouth when he saw this piece. But it's just, look at this thing. Oh my gosh, this is just crazy. I mean, it's
everything.
Unbelievable.
Namor's on there, for God's sake.
Right. I just saw that. I didn't even see that. You see
God.
Zorn's in there. I mean, holy mackerel! How did he cram all of these characters in here? But this thing is, it's beautiful. It's inked beautifully. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I love
Jason's
these
a lucky man.
humongous, like all these characters wedged in here. That these things are so awesome to me. Like this would be, when I worked at the comic store, this would be like a triptych poster on the wall, and it would like take up the entire like over top of the back issues.
Mm-hmm.
That type of image.
Wow, you get the Starjammers in there. You get the New Mutants. I mean, yeah, this thing is freaking
Just
wow.
amazing.
I love this. Yeah. So we got a couple Philip Tans in our set this week, but congrats, Jason, for picking that one up. Yeah, I'm gonna tell Jason he's got to add an avatar. I got to put some personality in this calf gallery, Jason. So wow. Yeah, that was a good piece to end on. I didn't intend it to be the last piece, but wow. Chuck says it's a little too busy, but
it's very busy. Absolutely,
it is. But I'm okay with it
in a great way.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I'd love to have this. So who can I commission to get a Legion pinup like this? Good question. I don't know. I'm sure somebody can have it. It would give you a good answer.
Magno.
Yeah, Magno would do a pretty good job. Yeah, that's a good choice.
He'll take on those big crazy ones too.
So it was a busy week last week with all the art, a lot of stuff to go through. I mean, we could have picked 50 pieces from last week, and
Easily.
I know that James has his sketchbook show on Monday that he's hosting, and the theme of December's sketchbook was like your favorite pieces, so that all those are like ballers too.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a lot more crazy good artwork from 2023 next Monday when James does the last sketchbook show. So look for that. Look for more of the same, I think.
Yeah, right.
And next week, Ron Lim is going to be our guest art picker. Actually, he's I tried to get him to do the first week, but he couldn't do the first week because of vacations and things. So Ron, first time on the show.
I'm looking forward to that. He has great taste and is an artist himself. So
exactly. I've been I can't say he's like a few other people where I ask once a year to, can we do an interview, and it's just never worked out. So I'm excited to have him on. I've obviously, like many of you, if you've gone to San Diego, you've met Ron before. He's a great guy, has a great collection. He's got a great eye. He's been a great contributor to the chat. And I know he's not been as active in the last 12 months, but yeah, it's going to be awesome to have him on and do some picks with us.
Definitely.
So Chris, as always, very fun. Looking forward to hanging out, man, at OAX. It's 3 weeks from now. When do you get there?
Thursday early.
Okay, good.
Yeah, pretty early Thursday, like by noon, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
And you have any plans? Are you hitting a park or anything?
We're completely free balling it, like whatever Eric and I and our wives are traveling together. Okay. So while the cat's away, the mice will play.
Well, there's a fair number of breweries around, so that there's that kind of an option.
If anybody wants to see me shotgun a beer, bring me a beer. I have keys.
All right. Well, it may get recorded. Remember, there's a lot of videographers around, and we want to capture everything, as maybe not the gritty, terrible parts, but we want to try to capture the feel of it so that you can contrast it from the other shows that are out there. And I don't just mean Como, any other art show or any other MegaCons the following weekend. We want
no one has ever shotgunned a beer at Como. I will guarantee it.
I think you're absolutely right, and that's kind of the selling point for both shows.
You don't have to watch this hairy American shotgun a beer.
Exactly, but you never know. Aranga has gone to Como a few times, so he may have shotgunned a beer there.
Maybe.
You never know. You never know.
Anyone.
Shotgun Dom Perignon. Yes, that's possible, but yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and yeah, we'll have to figure it out. I mean, I'm actually gonna be staying at the hotel. I think I'm actually there Wednesday night. I have to go back and double check when I'm getting in, but I wanted to be. I'm gonna, because Thursday is like the big setup in the hall, And then Friday's moving in the morning when we're going to do badge check-ins for the exhibitors. And I think Kezra was thinking, we would do most of the badge stuff on Saturday, but obviously we're going to do badges on Friday too. So,
Well,
yeah.
if you guys need any help, holler at me. We'll be there.
Okay. Hey, well, we may get your opinions on some of the stuff we're doing in there, as far as getting things set up. And I can guarantee we're probably going to need some help here or there. Friday is going to be a challenge because we have the galleries to set up, and so that's going to be interesting how we were able to pull all that together. But it's going to be fun, and it's for everybody, and I think everybody's going to thoroughly enjoy it. I know I am. He just wants early access. Don't fall for it, Bill. he wants that staff badge. Yeah. But anyway, man, I appreciate it as always, Chris. You had a good New Year's and Christmas, I assume.
Wonderful as always. Yep, no complaints.
Good. I'm glad.
Right.
Well, again, can't wait to hang out with you and everybody else in a few weeks. But so you had a couple weeks off. Now you're gonna get one more week off, and then we'll be back at it regularly for a little while.
Amen.
All
Don't
right.
forget the beer.
Oh, don't you worry. I look every time I go to the fridge, it's there. I'm like, and again, I know if I have one, I'll get a headache because it's an IPA. But I'm gonna try I'll try it. I want to try it. I've never had a citrus IPA before.
All right.
So, all right, man. Have a good night. All right, everybody. So we ran a little long tonight, and I guess I made up for the short week last week. But I'll get those commission opportunities posted to the site tomorrow. At some point in time, we'll send out another mailing promoting it. Alberto did get the cap piece. I emailed him when the EXP thing was playing, letting him know that he was the first person to email me. So congrats to Albert on getting that one. Alberto, not Albert. So so we'll call it a wrap. So next show is Monday with James and his team on the last sketchbook show where they pick the final piece of the year, and we'll see how that goes. I'll be tuning into that as well. So Jeff Moy's got a Whatnot show on Friday like always, and Jeff is going to be on a sales show with me, I think, in February. So I'm looking forward to getting to hang out with you, Jeff. I don't think we ever had the pleasure of being on camera together. Obviously, we've met at shows and things before, but it'll be fun doing a sales show with you sometime in February. And Ron Lim, is in the chat. You will be here next week, Ron. So remember, you're picking artwork from this past Monday through midnight Eastern on Sunday. So start looking at make a preview list for yourself right now. So. All right, everybody. I got a busy day tomorrow, so I hope you guys had fun tonight. I certainly did. I love hanging out with everybody. Thanks to Tatiana for the gift package, and Anthony for the artwork gift for my daughters. I sincerely appreciate that. I'll be getting these mystery sketches out ASAP. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll be talking again soon.